Ganja smoking, they got rum in me cup. Bad gals wind up on the dance floor. All the gals wind up on the dance floor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the PlayBowl 2024 Tournament Series. And, that's going to be in the SharePlay League in collaboration with HLX, excuse me. And we're going to mix things up a little bit from last month. I know last month we had those trios in action, but this time we're going to be doing the duos here today, Orbital.
Oh, I'm excited. I know a lot of people are very much enjoying this. Trios requires quite a few different components, namely a lot of coordination between you and your teammates, especially since that was a kind of thrown together. It was pugs thrown in there. Now you got the duos. Now you got a little bit more prep, and they are pre-made as well. That is one of the big things. They did allow pre-mates to hop in here, which is very, very important. We're hopefully going to have a lot of good people coming out to play here today.
Yeah, and they're going to be competing for that $1,000 cash prize. Of course, this time it's going to be split up into those top three positions as well. First place taking home $600, second place with $300, and then third place with $100. And of course, those top three spots are going to get priority toward that grand finale in December as well, where they'll be competing for that $10,000 cash prize.
That is wild to think about right now. I mean, you win one tournament, you say, hey, I'm already a shoe-in for this big banger. And not just that, this tournament, it is going to be a little bit easier to reach that threshold as well. The 55 point has been dropped down to, I believe, 50. So a little bit of leeway for those that are obviously going to be playing here and hopefully through a lot of maps. But to think you and your duo could go from playing in the pugs, just ranking up and everything like that, to playing for 10,000 against some of the others that we've had here across the SharePlay League. I think I would be more excited if I actually played Apex Legends as much as I could.
Yeah, and because it's duos, we have the full 30 teams, 60 players here as well. And instead of a 55-point threshold this time, it has been dropped down to 50. So we have to reach that 50-point threshold and then get a dub in a following game after that. And we're just going to stick to a 2-map rotation this time. So we got 2 World's Edge followed by 2 Storm Point, and then that rinse and repeat.
And huge thing as well is, you get a little bit of warm up time. Don't get me wrong, but we did see, I think, last time that we did cover this tournament, we saw a lot of mismatch in terms of how some teams like to play, and that's kind of the variations that we liked between World's Edge and Storm Point. The last tournament winners, they showed a little bit of hesitation on Storm Point with the wider open areas without so many, I want to say, vertical landings. It was a little bit different. So I love the fact that we are still at this format, the 2-2, and send it as hard as you can. But especially in duos, this is going to cause a little bit, I want to say, less confusion. In duos, it's a lot more run and gun. And whenever you get into these firefights, the terrain doesn't matter as much. It's really just keeping your own hide alive.
Yeah, I've always kind of genuinely liked duos a little bit more in Apex. Maybe I'm a little more of a casual player, but it's nice. You just have one buddy you got to pick up, and you can run around. You don't have to worry about that random coming into play as well. So, and it'll be interesting as well to kind of see the compositions. I know Pathfinder has been a big hit, but just kind of being able to use that mobility to your advantage could be huge, especially in duos.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that we're going to see massive macro movements. I mean, the Valkyrie, I wouldn't fully expect to come out here, namely because you need that offensive firepower as well. In duos, you have to cover just about everything. You have to cover the offensive, defensive, and control. And so with that kind of theory in there, we could see a double offensive. You had that Pathfinder, maybe a Bloodhound in there as well. I have seen Seer used to a decent extent in some of these as well. You get the scan and then you just run ham and see if you can take anyone out. And then, of course, if you want the big heavies, go for it if you wish. But I really don't assume you're going to be walling yourself up in duos. The huge thing as well is with how quickly a lot of these fights drop and how quickly the teams drop, bunkering down would only work if you're going for placement, in my opinion. So really, I hope we don't see bunkering. That's all I'm asking here. Don't see bunkering unless you're already across the 50 and you're looking to take that first place.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what we saw last month as well. I mean, we saw a lot of domination. And then that final game, just kind of hanging out around the hill, waiting for that opportunity to capitalize and get that dub. So there's a good chance you could see some of that bunkering, some more third parties with the amount of teams that are in this, because it is duos as well. But I think there's going to be a lot of those players, especially because they're able to kind of have the pre-made teams that might just feel comfortable playing with each other, kind of running around, running and gunning, finding a ton of those kills. Because we did see some teams put up a lot of kills last month as well. But that placement is just so important. I think it's 12 points for first place.
Yeah, so it's 12 for first, and it breaks down pretty well from there. So we got 12, 9, 7, 5, 4 for first through fifth, and then from 6th to 7th, it's only 3. 8th to 10th is only 2, and then 11th through 15th is 1. And if you place at the bottom, 16th through 30th, you get 0, which, again, at that point, it might sound rough, which it is, don't get me wrong, but you do have to dub out. That's all it really is. You got to place in the top half if you want to score any points. And then it's also 1 point per kill that you get as well. Not down, per kill.
Yeah, you gotta finish those downs to make it count as well. We saw a lot of cheeky revives and respawns last month as well. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think Duos throws a nice little fun twist on it as well. So I'm excited. Now, Orbo, correct me if I'm wrong, are we starting out with the warm-up round again this time?
I believe so. So last time when we had this warm-up, it was just that get your hands warm and everything like that. I do assume that a lot of these players are also already warmed up. I mean, you hop into a couple matches beforehand, but this is also to get you used to the competitive environment here and to understand that this is playing for money. So yes, I do believe we have one warm-up that is, I think, going to be on World's Edge to start. And that way we just get things underway. So when you see the first map, do not be too worried.
Hey, and honestly, last time we saw on the warm-up map, some of the teams kind of being, a little more aggressive than they were in the, once the actual tournament series had started. So it'll be interesting to see if that's what we kind of see here as well. Just kind of working on that aim, getting that recoil down and things like that, and then kind of locking it down once we get into those actual maps that count for points.
Yeah, so when it comes to warm-ups, you're not too worried about actually winning or anything like that, which is understandable. There is really no prize at the end of the day for a warm-up. It's more test the limits, see where you want to drop, make sure you're good to go. It is a button check at the end of the day. It's a nice one, though, because you also get to see who might or might not be a contender. One of the things that I like to use it for is to say, okay, who is actively going to be pretty dang good at these gun and runs? Who is going to be kind of pushing that limit at the end of the day? So, you know, you take it with a grain of salt. If you lose to someone in warm-up, it's not that big of a deal, but you may also get a good idea of if you're dropping at some POIs, hey, maybe they do regularly drop at, you know, one of these huge points. So liking that idea is, okay, maybe we swap up our own tactics. Again, though, there's only so much you can glean from a warm-up. If you're taking this away as this is going to be the mainstay, I would say don't do it.
Well, here we go. We're going to get right into the warm-up here as well. And again, we got a Pathfinder here as well. We talked about maybe seeing some Pathfinders, maybe seeing some Seers here as well amongst the World's Edge.
Yeah, this is just going to be a nice little hold. I mean, you go ahead and just check it out. And I love the fact that we already got them fighting. You can take a look. It's a nice little change up here, and in trying to get these extra pieces of damage down. This is gonna be I can already tell this is gonna be a little bit of a spicy lobby. In duos, it's just like, hey, you try and clip one, and then you clip the other. But of course, with these 4 towers, it's just, hey, what can you do? I can already see, I think, the Pathfinder that we saw earlier, and then is that an Octane? If we get to see an Octane or anything, that's gonna be so much fun. Ah, no, it's Pathfinder. Dang it.
All the Pathfinders. Very well could see some Octanes. I know Rampart has been huge as well with Sheila. So right now we see him just kind of posted up top here, looking to lock it down. And, you know, we talk about maybe having some more of those third-party situations because there are 30 different teams. But the nice thing is as well is it does take a little bit less time to fully knock that opposing team. So if you're very quick with that gunfire, you have the same target acquisition, you can drop potentially those 2 members, get that team wipe, and kind of get yourself set and prepared for that third party.
Of course, and this is actually going to, I feel like, lean very heavily into the akimbos and all that fun stuff. It's just, you know, you're swinging hard. You're swinging hard with them, and just the drop damage that can come about. You see with these smokes, you already love that teams are doing that button check, making sure they try and go as hard as they can, and I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. I'm very, very curious, though. If you're playing duos, are you wanting to just go ham? Is that your game plan, of course, or is it more just, you know, hang out, wait for? I mean, what do you like to do in duos, Hot Sauce?
You know, me, I'm always just go for it. I like to have fun. I know that playing for positioning can be very good, but even in ranked, I'm kind of the same way. You know, I hear the gunshots in a distance, and I start frothing at the mouth, and I've got to get over there as quickly as I can. And, you know, sometimes it pays off, and sometimes it doesn't. But nonetheless, for me, it's all about just getting out there and having a good time.
Oh, you're too nice of a player then. You're too nice of a player. Like, I'm 100%, I think I mentioned this last time as well, I'm a huge rat. Like, I am horrendously a rat. I don't want to fight anyone, but when I do, I hope that I shoot first and shoot for a long time because my aim sucks. So if I don't get the jump on them, I ain't winning. So you are a much nicer player and running in and trying to fight them early.
Hey, you know, it's just about having a good time, but take a look again at some of these compositions. We have seen a lot of Pathfinders here today as well, so certainly that's going to maybe be a theme. Obviously, once you get them kind of juiced up there, taking less damage on the zipline can be absolutely huge for the squad as well, as we see him trying to get into a little bit better position. I wouldn't be upset if we saw some more fusies here today as well.
I think all of us, you know, have our favorites that we would like to see, but granted, it's Pathfinder meta. I think we mentioned this before as well. It's just Pathfinder has so much versatility, has so much accessibility to move around and get the right angles and get the right flanks. So if it, you know, we didn't see any change, I would expect to see just about every team run that Pathfinder. It's what you want to run secondary. It's who you want to run secondary in that value. It's, hey, We want to go a little bit safer. We want to go a little bit heavier. It's whatever you wish to do. Right now, I think we're counting down. I think I've seen a couple teams eliminated so far. So with this warm-up continuing, I think, you know, teams are just getting to enjoy and see how quickly they can hit maybe their max shields in this situation.
Looking for the max shields early. We saw, you know, kind of last month as well, as some of these teams were able to find the red shields very, very early, which really set them up for success later in the game. Whereas, you know, sometimes it's nice to kind of hang out for that placement, but you want to be able to find a way to, if you're not at least getting those kills, finding a way to pepper in some damage from across the map, working toward building up those shields. So when you are in that final ring, you're not stuck with, let's say, you know, blue shields or something like that.
Yeah, I think we saw that actually be a huge reason why one of the teams actually lost in the previous tournament, and I'm sure anyone kind of knows this feeling of you ride it a little bit too long, you stuck around for a little bit too long, and all of a sudden you're severely under-geared. And in a duos, that's the worst possible feeling. You need every advantage. We mentioned this before as well. When in these duos, and anyone that's played understands you need all the gear that you can get to ensure the last side is going to work out in your favor, because there is a 90% chance that it is not a 2v2. It is a 2v2v2v2v2 at the least. At the most, you still got like half the lobby, and you're going to be fighting it out in a pretty tight circle. So ensuring that this is going to, you know, be that dangerous piece of the puzzle is you need to get up. You need to be farming that damage a little bit. You better pray that the other teams are not doing the same. And so that's, you know, coming into this first map. Once we're done with the warm-up, I am going to be very, very interested to see how it does play out.
Yeah, it looks like we got a Bangalore here as well. Just popping up that med kit, getting back to tip-top of rocking the car down there. Of course, the Akimbos, as you mentioned previously, has been a staple here as of lately. And we've seen a lot of players rocking the Nemesis as well. But I got to ask you, do you have a favorite scope that you like to use?
I do not. Again, I run an Expo and just say, screw it, good luck. That is, I Hail Mary some of those, and I pray that I land. Scopes mean nothing because I usually give it to my teammates. That's what I do. It's just like, hey, you know, if we get a better gun or any sort of equipment, I give it to the person that's probably going to hit their stuff. Because if I don't, then I am in trouble.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You can tell what kind of player I am now, huh? You can definitely tell what kind of player I am.
Hey, you know, at least you know your strengths and your weaknesses, and you use them to your advantage. I think that's gonna
what
be,
strengths. What strengths are you talking about, my man? There are none.
He's too hard on himself. Too hard on himself. Well, you know, that's something that, you know, hopefully a lot of these players won't have to worry about. I know last month we saw a lot of talented players just kind of littered across many of the different teams here. So certainly a plethora of talent out on the battlefield today as we work through this first warm-up round here.
Mm-hmm. And with only about 30 players left, it is rocking it down. It's a couple, I'm pretty sure a couple of solos as well, 18 squads currently remaining. So, you know, this also highlights a little bit of a difference. Keep in mind, previously in the previous tournament, we did see, I think the final rounds or the final zones really holding on. What was it? I want to say, you know, 5 to 6 squads at the very end, but in this, expect maybe 10. If they're a majority share solos, that could still lead to, what, only 15 players alive at the end. So these end games are going to be so tense for a lot of players that are hounding for points. If you have, you know, 2 or 3 squads at the end, or 2 or 3 duos kind of stuck at that 45, getting every piece of the puzzle is going to be that game changer. And I love it. You know, everyone's already taking pot shots in the air. Gotta love it. Oh my god, do we have a Valkyrie? Oh my god, we got a, I was unsure if we were gonna have it in duos, but we do have it.
Hey, you know, anything for that mobility, and certainly, you know, it does help when you can kind of spot these enemies as you're flying in. And as a duo as well, it might be a little bit more, you know, a little easier to ape some of these teams and find these picks with Valkyrie as well. So something that could be beneficial. It looks like Horizon here as well. So certainly really a lot of these players probably going to be working with it or off of that mobility.
Now, of course, how quickly can you mobilize yourselves to a defensive side as well? We can take a look here. I believe this is Flare that we are watching, a squad that is roaming in here. Dave Fly and Rustic They're setting themselves up for a nice little play, but I like it. You go ahead, see this pinch situation. I gotta give give a hand to our production side. They're gonna be giving us all the POVs and everything of the sort. You know, overviews, first person. Even in this tight-knit battles, it's going to be so interesting to watch for. I love the fact that some of the nades are just going to be so priority utilized. It's going to be so important flushing out your opponent, ensuring that you get the inside track, and kind of covering those outside ring battles as well.
You know, I always kind of find it interesting as well as how many players are kind of stacking up on the ammo or the tall boys, the cells, or, you know, how many are really stacking, you know, a ton of those nades for that, especially those late game engagements in those tinier rings where you can kind of force somebody out of a comfortable position to something that might allow you to rain down or find that upper advantage. Yeah,
this is, again, it goes back to player preference. I think at the end of the day, it really does come down to how do you want to play this? And I hate saying that because it sounds like such a cop-out answer, but with so many teams kind of bouncing in here, yes, there is an overall arching meta and everything of the sort, but you have to sit there and go, how do you want to play? Every single team can play the exact same in terms of the characters that are selected and everything of the sort, the legends that they opt for, but at the end of the day, if you choose to push, if you choose to wait, it is all up to you. Of course, right now, you can take a look, and this is a situation we may or may not see a hell of a lot of. 2v2 with a rat coming up the backside. It's just, I expect to see that at least 3 or 4 times here today.
Hey, hashtag rats on top. But I did get some word from the background as well, so I do apologize for the little bit of confusion, but there actually is no warm-up round today, so they are right into the mix here.
Oh!
So little did we know. I know we've kind of been yapping back and forth a little bit, maybe not bringing the action as much as kind of, I guess, thinking that it was a warm-up, so we do apologize for that. But yeah, right down to business here as we get into this one. So this one is for part of the marbles here.
Yeah, this is gonna be so important. Now all of a sudden, all the anxiety is on us now. Every single team is sitting there going, oh dang, this is going to be a problem as we get a jump in here. This is gonna be Valid trying their best, but it looks like they were annihilated here, as it is gonna be Future Streams kicking it up to 6 kills, 9 squads alive. Now remember, I believe this is all just duos. We have 9 squads left and 18 players, so it is going to be a wild change of pace. Is this going to cause some confusion as well, though? Because remember, a majority share, what, 20 points is possible, especially if you wipe out at least 8 as a duo.
Yeah, 8 kills, first place would be an easy 20 for you, and we saw a couple 20-point plus games, you know, in that previous month as well, so we know they're certainly capable of putting up those numbers in bunches as well, but right now, just being a little more cautious. I'm kind of interested to see how many teams we have left in those smaller rings as well. As we take a look over here, we do have a couple teams with those red shields as well.
Man, this is just going to be such a test. I'm a little bit worried. How is this going to play out here? Because, again, with the high ground currently secured for Kuro, this is going to be big. However, on the other side, we are waiting to see big damage coming out. Negative is going to bleed out Jace on the back end, and a far end east side coverage will be taken here by Atomic, which I believe this duo, or at least the name, was present in the previous tournament as well. So let's see how they try and maneuver. East side currently being attacked. Huge damage going down. Atomic is going to wait for a piece of that pie. Or are they going to make it out here? 8 squads alive, 15 members alive as well.
Yeah, Otaku Black was on Atomic last time, and maybe playing with his friend Kuro this time here as well, as we can see him locking down, looking for a little extra loot overhead, though. We can see a few teams lingering a little bit closer there, as we can see Future Streams up top, who had a little bit of success earlier in the kill feed. We can see Ya had found Kuro, though, up top, and now it's all down to Otaku, who is nearly at half health, looking to get away here on the escape, running quickly, and was he able to dip off to safety? I have a slight hunch that they know where he's at here, Orbital.
The problem is they lost one of the teammates, and now this final fight is going to be oh so dangerous, because remember, it's so quick. Otaku is run down. That is going to be Magikeki saying, yo, this is all mine. Thank you so much, Blast, Future Streams, and Negative. Rounding it out with the majority share of those kills that is so important to take a look at. Knight locking down on Lethal, as Inferno is another duo that is set for greatness. GXM representing here in map 1.
And Murder and Knight, they were in the last one as well, but on separate teams. So now with these pre-mates, you get the opportunity to maybe play with your friends here, and that's what we're seeing happen. Now the bombardment raining down, though, as they're tucked into the trailer here, just trying to survive the hailstorm of damage raining down, and a little bit of an escape, but Negative dangerously low, and the GOAT on the Scout will find one knock onto Negative. With that, it's all down to Future Streams. Stuck between a rock and a hard place here. The crossfire is there, and that is an unfortunate series of events here. Just 4 squads remaining.
Aura plus 500 right there. That is a solid collapse here on the kill leader as well. So you cut them short, and now you put yourself in prime position to take first place. However, your center stage, meaning everyone is going to be looking your way. GOAT goes ahead, is going to battery up, say, yo, this is all ours, and is going to try and heal as well. Is currently being getting ready for this final fight. With 7 alive, it does mean that it's a 2v2v2v1 situation, so you're waiting and making sure that you don't get flanked yourself, having to maneuver down to a little bit of the southeast side with the team on the southeast as well. This is a dangerous position. Grim having to rotate in. Northwest is the angle that they're angling for. They do get in very neatly. This final fight will be so much fun to watch.
Yeah, 4 squads. 7 players left here. The Scout right now seems to be a favorite as well, and a lot of great attachments, pretty much purple across the board there, rocking the Havoc here as well, and just being patient as we see that ring getting that much smaller here. Nobody wanting to be that first to go down, looking for those extra placements, those extra points here as well, and we see 5 kills for this Grim squad, or just for Woodland really here. So already able to put up a lot of kills. If they can grab a first place, it would be absolutely huge for them.
I think right now with this upper and lower deck currently hounded out, it's kind of interesting. I just saw 3 people currently lined up, and I think a wall divides them all. And they're just like, dang, well, this is weird. Of course, with that current situation, I like the fact that Knight is running. This is more just a break the front door combination here, by the way. Take a look at it. This is Knight and Murda just going, yo, if anyone tries to bust in on us, we are knocking them down a peg or 2, which I really like. Long range, though, for Ya and Keki. These 2 positioning themselves for an appropriate firefight. They know 2 are below, so they're trying to cover this far-range battle and waiting for the other team to peek out here. Keep in mind, they do have to move here in just a little bit. Zone is closing in very quickly. 28 seconds. Are they going to have to bow out first? Are they going to get the first shots? Huge long-range tags, though. He is going to send them a little bit low. A little bit of a nade sent straight through the boxes. And saying, hello, please get out of that way. Are they going to trip themselves up, though? And that's the shot that you like. Tagging more of the shield as this 4 squad is still tightening up.
Yeah, it looks like only one of these squads, though, Woodland Chuck and crew, have those red armors, though. Peppering in, able to pop the purple shield as Knight. Now the pressure comes in. And with the Mastiff, able to drop Maga Keki here down to the ground. And yeah, the last remaining member here for that squad is Inferno, is feeling hungry. They look for the push. And as spots where he runs to safety, but able to find it with the nade there as well. And a bit of back and forth on that front line. And Ya is absolutely putting in damage.
I mean, you gotta, your teammate's gone, and you gotta try and hang on. You are now tagged up, and you're gone as well. Down to a 2v2, and right now, Grim, our Grim Reapers on the map. 9 kills between the 2 of them. Can they get this last member? Can they claim first place? They should. Seize up top, and it's going to be Divik, who is the last one remaining. You gotta run for your life. You got 3 kills. Can you grab 2 more? It's a challenge and a half, and you level up that shield, but it's not gonna be enough. Grim are going to take map 1 with an astounding, I believe, 22 points.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. You saw they had at least 9 prior to that, and of course, first place. So certainly putting in the work as Woodland Chuck. And honestly, last month, I know Woodland's team didn't get in the top 3, but he was one of the top killers as well, if not the top as far as frags go. So back here in this duos tournament, already putting in work.
I love it. And we do apologize. if we had known that this was opening a map, it would have been so different because the early fights, it happened. We saw a drop of, I believe, about 5 teams in the early, like 2 or 3 minutes, and that's going to happen. I think pretty much every single time. At least 4 to 5 squads are going to be eliminated off the rip, as with 30 teams, every POI is contested. Unless you're looting these obscure spots, you are going to run into a team, and that is what I think really gave Grim the edge. I would love to see how they do here in map number 2 as well, because they're already, I believe, a third of the way moving in to this threshold that they need to hit. Wonderful job.
Yeah, I mean, as it was 55 last month, now only 50 this month. Of course, you have to break that threshold and then get the win in the following game as well. But yeah, I mean, if they're putting up 20 plus points a game, it could be a very short day for the rest of the crew.
11. No one in the lobby even broke double digits there. The only other squad that we were watching, by the way, was Blast, and I think they were the other top kind of firefighters there. 11 for Grim. That is so wild.
Hey, they came to play, and map number 1 as well, already putting that up. So, looking to maybe reach that threshold before we even head into Storm Point. But that'd be a pretty tall task to ask. Of course, we know that some teams do play better on World's Edge than they do Storm Point. That's what we saw last month as well. So, you just got to hang in for a little while longer for that map change.
And I think, it's one of the most interesting factors, which I really like this map type. I understand it is a standard, but I do appreciate it above all else. When it comes to Battle Royales and everything of the sort, having to hit that first place is such a game changer, I think, to a lot of the teams that are in here, because it draws eyes a lot of the time. As soon as you hit that 50, everyone's like, gosh, we got to take them out. And that is why we do see ratting. As soon as you hit that threshold, most of the time it's just, hey, play for placement. Points do not matter at that point. You are just hunting for that first place. But it gives time for the other teams to reach that threshold as well. Once we see the first one, assume we're going to try and hit, 2 or 3 more that are trying to break through the 50. As quickly as Grim are reaching this, I do not foresee this being the standard for them. If they do and they sweep the next 2, it's a wild story in its own. But I do expect at least 2 or 3 other teams to be able to reach their same level, if not higher.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be that much more exciting. I mean, I feel like we need to see some of these other teams though finding some early engagements. Even like I said, even not necessarily looking for the downs or the kills, but maybe just looking to pepper in some damage from across the map, because we really only saw 1 squad there of those final 4 that had red shields. The majority of them were kind of working with blue, and those final gunfights they were maybe able to get it up to purple. But again, I think just not having those shields that are comparable makes that fight so much tougher.
I mean, we saw Grim. I think they were entering into that with at least 5, meaning they were fighting pretty much from the get-go. I think so, or at least by about zone 2, and that's exactly what we were mentioning all the way back. I want to say middle of this map. You gotta farm that damage somehow. I am sorry, but if you are ratting out right now, it's not going to be in your favor. Every single team is hunting for kills. Every single team is out to try and at least get 3 or 4, which we did actually see peppered through. I think an average kills that I saw between the teams that were out there is about 4 to 5. You have to realize that you got to fight if you want a fighting chance at the end, or just stock up on util. Screw it. Just like hard out on the nades, hang on to everything, and just pray that you can, layer down the damage. But at that time, it is a firefight only. You need those shields up. You need to have good positioning. There's so much to think about here. So I got to agree, those shields are going to play a very big part of this entire next map as well.
Yeah, that's right. And as we get loaded into it, I would take a moment to shout out SharePlay League again for making today's tournament experience so special. They're a global esports league designed to bring gamers together from all corners of the world. So we certainly appreciate SharePlay League for putting on this wonderful PlayBowl 2024 tournament series. And I got to thank them for allowing me to come back in the booth here with you today, Orbital.
I am as well. They're an awesome group. And again, here on this platform, you can go ahead and just mess around with some of the commands as well. They have so many little small pieces that we'll be mentioning throughout as well. If you're watching here on the SharePlay browser and everything like that, it's so much fun. And honestly, I'm excited to see what else can be done, because now we're into map 2. Same map, of course. We are here. The ice is all around. So is the snow. So let's go ahead and take a look and see how these teams break out. Maverick, for their own right, going to be hoping to have a little bit better standing, I believe, than they had last time. I believe they were knocked out all the way at 3rd 19th, but with 6 kills for themselves.
6 kills for themselves. And as Orbital said, guys, make sure you make an account here on SharePlay.tv. So we would see a type in chat. You can let us know what your favorite weapon is. But speaking of weapons, the Sentinel from a distance raining down and finding a nice solid shot. But we'll see that pop smoke there from Bangalore, and that'll allow them to dip back to safety here as well. But that's some of the early damage that we talked about, and that's where some of those snipers are great. It kind of allows you to get that early damage from a distance and kind of work toward building that shield.
And it feels so good snapping that up, because it forces some of the enemy squads into safety already. As soon as you know the Sentinel's out to play, you can't be out in the open when you haven't geared up enough, and you're just like, crap, I'm kind of screwed here. So it does allow a lot of space taking if you can find it early. And this is something that, you know, maybe you don't want to be in. We saw a couple of pistols being run that are not exactly most open. For Onyx, you do have some dual potential. It's the problem being, you're getting collapsed on inside of this building. It is so difficult to maneuver your way around. A couple nades go out, gonna try and burn the outside, cut off line of sight, and then only focus here on the bottom side. But the windows are getting jumped on here, and inside this kind of claustrophobic angle, they can be a problem. What a snap, though. It is a teammate that is gonna knock them down a little bit further, though, and there goes Wicked. Right now, Onyx are kind of getting chunked out here, and Dog, I don't think you like this. The door is open. Spray doesn't work. And down they go. It is going to be Exercise and VIC to go ahead and take a squad out.
Yeah, Kogoro actually found one pick in the mix, but unfortunately couldn't get the teammate there as well. So a big clutch for that squad as we take a look at Phantom here. Now pressuring, rocking the Hemlock and the Mastiff here, and maybe on the hunt for someone or something down below. And there it is. Epic Cow will fall to the wayside, and that'll be another pick here for the Phantom squad.
Oh, boy. We are starting to see some teams really tick up right now, and already this kind of scattered look here in the center of the map. We're seeing about 7 to 8, about 6 to 7 different duos. I think you can see the GOAT all the way on the far left side, but on this railway, it's going to be a test, and then all the way on the right side of the screen, and then up above, of course, you see a couple more spread out, but you can already see the duels getting set up here. The train line is so nice to have. The railway brings so much loot as well as high positioning. Take a look at that, though. TWKA sending some thoughts out there to a couple enemy opponents. There'll be another squad wipe. 5 are gone already.
5 already gone, 25 left standing, 49 players here as well. So one of those players possibly missing there. Maybe the player that Kogo had eliminated earlier. So we'll look to see if that respawn does come in. But Phantom once more, we saw grab a kill a moment ago, and now off to the Warriors here. Looks like we've got the Revenant and the Pathfinder here once more.
I'm waiting to see how they play this northwest edge. For the Warriors as well, it's just, hey, we're still kind of looting up TSG. Giving themselves a very nice hold, but they are getting shot out from the house here. Same angle as before as BECS. We're going to grab a few in the kill feed, and you can already see a couple fights. Blazer, though, really sending a Rager straight through as they eliminate another duo. TSG for their own right, sitting with, I believe, 0 kills, 0 assists. I mean, yeah, you might be working towards that placement, but you might want to start finding some engagement, start building up those shields as well.
Yeah, I got to build up the shields there. Look for the final plays toward that final circle as we see a couple Twitch names pop up. There's Kate's as well, finding Just Vibing. We'll get the bleed out here as well and become the kill leader. So 4 picks for that squad as we take a look at the Warriors here as well, pressing forward. And I'm not sure, they may have heard some gunshots over here as well, because they seem to kind of be quickening the pace, and we see those pings coming out as well.
And not only that, getting to this helipad area saying, yo, let's go ahead and try and break down this fight as much as possible. The countdown might begin, given this kind of raw opportunity. But at the same time, Decay is a little bit more close range for their own liking, and then long range with that take. So, you know, if it works, it works. At the moment, they haven't really found anyone. Instead, kills are being left and right. GOAT PS, who we saw earlier as well, will be such a big namestay, a name in the kill feed in map 1. Is taking kills out very, very quickly. So we're down to 19 so far, and the first zone hasn't even closed. This is going to put a little bit of a damper on some of the plans. As WXY going, I can't get up this rock. I'm so sorry, everyone.
Yeah, and that was a Toku Black squad that we saw being taken out kind of early here as well. And now a little back and forth. Will and Chunk in the kill feed finds another as Magic will be the first to fall in this fight. Looking to back off. There's those Akimbo Mozambiques. And we'll find the finish here as well. That'll be an extra point on the board. And it does look like the teammate was able to escape, at least for the time being.
Not just that. Chase able to fight with the rundown is going to go ahead and claim a little extra loot for themselves as well. Very nicely done, but there they go. We got 15 squads alive, meaning we are now in point range territory. A lot of squads hoping to do some work. Future on that list once again, trying to find some eliminations. Goat, though, rounding out the point system. It does feel like the teams are starting to make a mess of this so far. I mean, I gotta say, Hot Sauce, this is a lot more fighting than I actually thought was gonna go down. Like last time, I think we had 14 or 15 squads still running around at about, zone 3.
Yeah, there was certainly a ton of squads running around in those later zones, but it doesn't seem to be the case here, as we can just hear the nades going off, the shots ringing out as well. And now face to face has the EVA 8. They're going to pop the reload, one inside here as well, dancing around with that zip line or that grapple hook, and now back down to safety. Unfortunately, that's going to be Acoustic, who does fall here, and now a bit of back and forth. The EVA 8 putting in work. The real Zeus will go down. El Jace will find a knock and a bleed out here as well, and just some plaid stripes going across the kill feed.
Feels so good for Flare. They're fighting this one out. Gets another nade inside as well, drawing them out, and it's such a well-played moment. Not only that, you collect on the northwest side. It is going to yield many results for yourselves. However, another team coming in here. This could be a messy one, but said, nah, not today. Dave was like, yo, let me revive my teammate. The healer is so sick with it as well.
The EVA 8, man, just putting in work out here, finding a lot of success. And, of course, the partner rocking the Mastiff in the 301 here as well. So they'll be able to kind of heal up and kind of look through the assortment of loot that is scattered across this area here and kind of have their way, as that ring has about 41 seconds left to close. We can take a look at another team. That's Grim, the top dogs. They're looking to get in, as they are still kind of out fighting in the storm.
Future as well. Blast, this other squad that we saw round things up early on. One of the early fighters that was killing all over the place. It seems like they only got 4 so far, and they're hunting for a few more. They're going to jump right in, but gets shocked out. Future kind of blinded out, but they are going to run inside of this excavator and see what they can do. Eyes up above, though. They're not inside, they're outside. High jump down, and it's going to be, once again, the Mozambique just sending out some damage. Got that kill as quickly as possible, and it will be DMG to go ahead and take that fight.
Yeah, Negative Future Streams had some success in that first map as well, and now having a little success here on map number 2, as we can take a quick look at those team statuses there. Of course, the points up on the board thus far, and Future with 4 kills already for his squad seems to be at the top there. It looks like Kate's had 5, and those appear to be the most at the moment.
I mean, Blast, they placed 5th last time, so they were in double digits at least, but they have I want to say, a far cry of a stretch to make it all the way up into, the upper echelons, that 3rd or 2nd place. It's a big hampering, and that's why you can see them fighting so hard. Night for their own. They're doing quite a bit better than their early stage ending as well. Let's see if they can keep it up. They were placed 28th last time, so this time around, miles ahead. You can see they already have 2 kills for their name as well.
2 kills to their name, but looking for more here as well. They've spotted one on the tracks here and has that 4-time scope. But with the 301, you really just kind of want to hold on to that trigger discipline. Don't want to give away the intel just yet. They're going to spot a team behind them here as well, and they're going to opt to put some bullets downrange. Just a little bit of damage, but not a ton. But unfortunately, it looks like they have been heard up here, and maybe that team they initially spotted from the train tracks could be pinching him in here.
I think that's exactly what happened. They did farm up to go ahead and get one on max shields, but this time around, we're taking a look at Cyber, who are also on that northwest edge. They're closing in pretty dang quickly. I don't know if they're actually going to run into anyone, but let's go right back to Knights. Remember, Knights hiding out here and just saying, hey, we don't want to fight you as much as possible, but we have to. We're going to give it our best shot. They have the high ground, so it does give a little bit of an advantage, plus a couple lines to help out. Is it going to be enough, though? They may or may not get jumped on here, but Kate's, of course, of their own, are doing quite well. We got 7 squads alive, 13 players in. Negative, though, has been farming up the kills like crazy. Rustic and Dayfly for their own, trying to chase in, get out of this zone as quickly as possible. They are ticking down. I don't think they'll run into anyone right away, so I think they have enough time to heal up for the next fight. No, I lied. They're getting pinched right now, getting shot up. They have to throw down the smoke screen and pray to God that they can get inside. They do, but they still have to round towards the center. They realize they're not exactly in a great spot. Shield is going to be up for Rustic, but I think the teammate is a little bit lost, and unfortunately going to be in a 1v3 position. Oh, this is so dangerous here. Max level on the shields, though. It is going to be a nice little pickup. Huge zone in as Kuro might not enjoy that spray, but Rustic feeling okay, leveling up on the gear as well.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, he's going to go with that golden EVA 8 there as well. And with those full set of red shields, it looks like they have plenty of tall boys here as well to keep them posted up. So with that being said, we see 7 squads left. One of them missing a player, but already getting ready for ring number 4 here shortly, and everybody just kind of hanging out on the outskirts at the moment, looking to make sure that they have enough of these heals, have enough ammo here as well. We cut over to Future, though, who's had a lot of success. I think 8 kills amongst the team already, and they've already spotted another one.
Oh boy, ride that railway. Oh! Future tried. Future saw too far in the future, though, and misses. Zipline is like, dang, that sucks. Zipline goes out, though, ready to take close quarters if we so wish. And that's what they're hoping for. Negative right beside them as well, ready to take these fights, depending on the angle that they enter. Take a look. Northwest currently populated. Out in the open, though. As Dayfly is like, dang, what are we going to do? A little bit of a Mirage set out. And they're going to wait this file out as well. Center stage, though, is a Blast, currently ranked at 3rd with 13 points for themselves. Chase, though, able to lock down Sanity in that kill feed. Going to be very, very important to watch for it. Bleed out plus finish as Valiosa does the exact same. 11 members alive. Future and Negative gonna try and run things up, actually chasing from center, which is quite interesting, saying, hey, we want to fight out this southeast edge. Say, yo, let's push them. And that's gonna be Kate and the rest of the squad also getting ready to third party if they so wish. It's gonna be a very dangerous angle. We can see the elimination of at least 2 squads here in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, Valiosa, we just saw on the kill feed as well, kind of transitioning toward that short side of the circle, but now down below, kind of tucked in between the tough position here. Future has Kates and them off to that back right area, but they're going to go ahead and press up in here. They have the health advantage as the shields are there as well. The Akimbos raining down, looking for some big damage coming in, and Negative on the EVA 8 finds some big picks. Future gets one as well, and with that, they'll find the team wipe.
You love to see it. You knew you had the raw power and you flushed them out so easily. And now you control that southeast quadrant. I don't think that's going to be a change anytime soon either. Blast really lighting things up. Chase and Valiosa, though, saw them earlier taking a kill or 2. And in this final spot, it's going to be such a piece. By the way, those 2 up there, Kate and Squad, have not moved, if I'm not mistaken, or they were up on the high ground earlier. I believe someone was up there, and it just didn't seem like they had moved at all. So now finally moving out, trying to get closer in. And I think they're going to get ready to make a run for it. This can be very, very dangerous. They're saying, hey, we got to make a move. We got to get a little bit of a shift. And you can see that high ground. Yeah, there they are. Questions up above as Dayfly is going to knock down a Dob. And Dobbs is all of a sudden down on the ground. Danger is abound as Kate gets us out. Future had a rush there. And Dayfly says, thank you very much. This high-low that is currently being played is so dangerous. Negative Future taking over on this scaffolding. And saying this is all ours, but now the spray is actually going against them. They are locked in. They're going to try and zip line out. Future dancing up on high. Trying to bait out a few more shots. Mirage sending out a little bit of a wave fly. And saying, hey, yeah, I got the damage. Thank you so much. Future gets a snipe as Rustic is now down. And they're going to chase. This could be their 11th elimination. Maybe 12th to find a teammate. Yes, they do. They rush in and they get it. That's going to be another set. Beautifully done. 6 total as Future becomes the kill leader.
Yeah, great to see from Blast as well. We saw a lot of success for Grim in the previous outing, so Blast looking to give them a run for their money here in map number 2. As you mentioned, the kill leader, a ton of kills on board. Now face-to-face, going toe-to-toe with the competition, and Valkyrie will fall to the wayside. The Akimbos are just too much to handle, it would appear, and I feel like almost everybody has been rocking these here of late.
I like the fact they tried to nerf it recently as well. Like, I think like 2 days ago, they dropped a nerf of, I think, spread of bullets and the amount of clip size as well for both the dual and single. It's like, but the damage is still there. So if you hit your shots, you're still gonna rock it. And that's what we're seeing right now. Blast quite literally want to take this top dog spot. And I think it's going to happen. Decoys are out. Center stage controlled. And Blast are gonna run down these last 2 members. Currently, the missiles are out. High ground currently covered by Future. Low ground covered by Negative, but a little bit of a shock now, as it feels Future might not know exactly where the damage is coming from. Jaguar, though, coming up on the back end. Negative shot out a little bit, but the shields are going to hold steady. Aliosa and Jace, these two have been playing such a slow game, but now they're trying to round it out. 6 at least on the kill feed for them. Are they going to do a little bit more inside, trying to loot up? Are they going to find anything useful?
Looking for something useful, but already probably got most of what they need here as we look for this final battle. Just 2 teams left. Everybody looking stacked and jacked with the red shields here as well as they continue to kind of just linger down below. Unfortunately, Jaguar doesn't quite have the high ground right now, so maybe waiting for that hill to move in a little bit better of position. But Blast is going to waste no time coming down here, looking to get into the face of the competition. And Negative is absolutely on fire. Blast are your champions of map number 2.
Wild stuff to watch, and that was way more dominating than we saw in map 1. And honestly, we saw Blast. Remember, they crashed out at about 5th, which I shouldn't say crashed out. They were getting pinched, let's be honest. Map 1 was a difficult one for them to win. Crash out implies that they just, like, you know, kind of failed there. No, they were at 9 kills. Remember, they were the kill leaders. They were originally up there at the top spot, and this time they capitalized. That is going to be at least double-digit eliminations, plus a plethora of first place points that is going to skyrocket them into first place.
Yeah, and more importantly, because Grim went out in 8th place. They were still able to grab 8 kills, but they did get knocked out in 8th place. So just going to be a few points for them now at 33. It looks like Blast does get 12 kills and that first place. So 24 points in a single game. And you nailed it, right? After going out at 5th, having just a little bit of a fumble, that's just what that top tier positioning can do for your score.
Not only that, we mentioned before how quickly some of these tournaments can end and how quickly some of these teams can rack up the numbers. We are on the cusp of running 4 maps total. That is about it. If this third one goes the way and Grim and Blast both reach that 50 threshold, which at this point, only 17 points for Grim. That is the first place and 5. Or just what? Like another, 8 kills and then second or third? And Blast, they only need 13. To put that in perspective, they kill 1 squad at the beginning, rat all the way till the end. They hit the 50 mark as well. Teams are starting to realize that this is do or die moment. Jaguar, for their own right, beautiful job moving up the standings as well. You got to do a bit more now, though. You're sitting at 20, you got 30 points to cover.
Yeah, and you got to hope that both Blast and Grim take an early exit because they just have a nice commanding lead. The funny thing is the rest of those teams kind of fall in line, though. There's a couple teams with 14, 13, 11, a couple teams with 10. So there's a lot of teams that are very, very close. If they could find a way to eliminate Blast and or Grim early without them getting a lot of kills, then, I mean, we've seen things really just transition a lot in one map if they're able to kind of help make all of those stars align.
Sometimes the stars align and sometimes the sun's just a little bit too bright and you don't get to even see the stars. You get grounded in reality and you're like, dang, all right, there's some pretty awesome teams here. Now moving over into I believe Storm's Point. That is going to be the very big one here. Remember, we mentioned how aggressive some of these teams can be, especially when it comes to verticality and the movement of the entire map. Now a lot of these positional pieces are going to be very, very important with so much more, I want to say, open territory to cover. Whoever sets up first, I think, is going to have a very large value over the opponents. We saw this last time as well. You can sit and wait, pick off some opponents from afar, and they have to cross such large territory that it's like, dang, you can pick up 1 or 2 kills pretty easily if you're in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, and last time, first place got all of the money. So now, getting first place is great. But if you're close, sometimes you want to play smart just to stay on that podium. Of course, first getting 600, second with 300, and third with $100, and that priority toward that $10,000 grand final later in December as well. So, it's great to get first, but maybe if it's a little out of reach, you still have something to fight for with this squad, guys. And if maybe you're watching and you're not in this one, if it's something that you're interested in, we really encourage you to follow not only the socials, but to head on over to discord.gg/SharePlay and become a part of the Discord so you can stay up to date with all the awesome stuff we got going on.
I will also say it's awesome to see the amount of love going on here for SharePlay overall. I heard that we had 30 teams here. I heard that we also had 5 teams waiting as well. It is so awesome to see community members coming out, especially in the Apex Legends scene, saying, hey, we want to support these tournaments. So if you want to see more like this, even in the future, continue to show support. Keep signing up for these, saying, hey, let's keep playing as often as possible. Watch these, watch these tournaments, maybe throw a bit of banter your way as well for every team that maybe you want to beat later on. But got to give a big shout out. It's awesome to hear that a tournament has a waiting list of players that still want to join in, maybe for the next one and beyond.
Yeah, we can't thank SharePlay League enough for bringing us this tournament series, especially in collaboration with HLX. And take a moment to shout out HLX. Actually, they're the ones managing today's tournament brackets, kind of ensuring that everything runs smoothly and competitively. So HLX is all about supporting talent. It actually doesn't matter if you're an athlete, a musician, a content creator, a gamer. They're just committed to giving you a platform to shine. So a big shout out to them as well.
I know. I mean, even getting to be here and you and I mean, we've been in this esports scene for a while. It's awesome to see that we're allowed to come back. I mean, listen, after my talks of how bad I was last time, I was like, oh man, I'm kind of scared to be back. But you know what? They decided that I was okay, and I appreciate that. And I think, even giving us, even outside of, say, just competitive aspect, being able to give us a chance to showcase the talent that's out here is so much fun and so rewarding. As well. Hopefully get to see more in the future as well, not just Apex Legends, but across multiple other game titles as well.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And if you're hanging out in chat, we encourage you to let us know what your favorite weapons are, who your favorite players are out there on the field, who you might be cheering for as well. So there's all kinds of stuff that you can do in chat with the super plays and earn experience points just from watching and interacting. So we'd love to see the hype in chat as well.
I mean, there's still more action to be played. As much as we're talking about, hey, one more map, 2 more tops, there's still plenty of time for other teams to kind of run up that scoreboard. The reason I say that is Havoc, who placed second in map 1, this squad that was able to rack up 4 kills in there as well, unfortunately lost all the way back in the opening round. They were the 30th team out. That is how easily some of these matches can turn around on its head. And you and I had this discussion, I think, all the way back in the previous tournament as well, talking about consistency over one-off factor and how that can really cause a difference within some of these tournaments. We talked about how the fact that if you are consistently placing second and getting kills in between, that can sometimes have a higher benefit than randomly, sporadically hitting first place or second with a monumental amount of kills, because it can reach that threshold very quickly. And it's like, would you prefer to be consistent over that one-off factor?
Yeah, it's kind of like a tough thing because you want to be able to put up a lot of kills, especially, if you start to fall behind, if you are one of these teams that only has 20 or 14 points compared to Grim or Blast. Sometimes you might think, oh, we really got to go out there and get kills. But, honestly, we saw some groups in the past that if you just remain consistent to your game style, you do what works for you, you get high placements, pepper in some kills there. If you can consistently do that, you can find yourself still in that top 3 running for the money.
And not just that, are you new to the competitive scene as well? This is vastly different than playing in pugs. I know some of these duos are like, hey, we'll play in a tournament. And it's awesome, by the way. I believe it was free entry. You just sign up and hope that you get into the matchup. And it's like, yo, we'll try and play this. Oh, God, this is nothing like my pugs. This is nothing like I thought it was going to happen. We're running into these guys that are just crushing the absolute game. And if this is your first time competing, I want to give a big shout out because it is a huge step moving from playing in pugs, playing with your friends, to we are going to compete for money for a prize. And you might be realizing your gameplay does not work as well as you thought. That is no problem at all either. You can absolutely sit there and go, hey, maybe we're trying to play, maybe we're trying to do, here and there things. So huge shout out. But yes, stick to your game plan, stick to the legends that you know best, and make them work in the gameplay. Now, granted, don't forget about the kills because we are heading to Storm Point and we are hoping to see some of that kill action. But still, play smart, play well, and try and rank high.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where everybody lands. If I know last time, as you had mentioned, some of those teams going out real early after having some good success. So sometimes it can be dangerous jumping out early. You might have teams that kind of follow you down, looking to kind of grief you a little bit. But right out here hot and early, we're taking a look at the Warriors right now, and a few of these teams kind of just sporadic or spreading out across the map here.
I think this is the big important factor as well. Warriors that we're currently watching. I think last time they stuck up pretty dang well. Not the greatest, though. I think we're still waiting for them to really be able to put those points on the board. On the other side, X-Ray, another squad that we haven't seen too much of. I believe they're a little bit lower in the standings. Yep, all the way down. Only about, they're sitting at 0, unfortunately. So we'll see if they can gain some points here, maybe a couple kill points. But already, is that about 3 duos that I see here? This is going to be a spicy one.
3 duos, and there's Woodland Chuck, who's had a lot of success. Goat, we've seen in the kill feed quite a bit as well, but looking to back off to safety here. We take a look at Atomic, who had some success in the first map, but fell a little early in map number 2 as Atoku Black and Kuro look to kind of get some weapons on deck. Over to the Mastiff, though, is just peppering in shots here. A lot of damage, unfortunately, dangerously low. Dynasty, the partner, is already falling, so it's all down to... Oh, man, he does it! Through the smoke, gets not only one, but the second one as well, and the Echo Squad will be eliminated.
And you knew that smoke was high priority. You knew they were going to try and hunt for you, and you were waiting. Shotgun beats all if it lands, and now you have a chance at an extra piece. Jaguar also eliminated a team that was sitting in the top spots, are gone, and that's very, very important to note. Remember, we are reaching that threshold for a lot of the teams like Grim, like Blast. They want to stay in this tournament, so Jaguars, unfortunately, gonna have to wait till next game to try and work some magic once again. Taking a look at Atomic here, get into another firefight. Dr. Black saying, yo, help out, let's go, let's go, let's go. And that's going to be a little bit of a sprint, gets one. Prox Cause is down, but so is Otaku Black. Are you going to get this elimination? Huge finish coming out here to put this in a 1v2.
Yeah, looking to get the res here as well, and might just get it, especially in these twos. If you lose a partner, you might be kind of more inclined to fall back and look to just be safe, get that respawn, especially early here as 5 squads have already been eliminated. I'm not sure who it was, but I think the current kill leader already has 4.
I think they can do some work. Zulu and Yellow are both also eliminated. Atomic waiting for their own chance to do a little bit of magic. I wonder how it's going to play out here, though. Again, these early starts and already losing 7 within what? About, I want to say in about 2 minutes or so is a wild piece of the puzzle. Titan eliminated as well. We're down to 22. Fight on this hold, on this POI is getting out of control. This is now going to be about the 3rd or 4th squad eliminated around this spot. This is, Atomic are farming something, at least is the hope.
Yeah, at least getting some damage, working on those shields as well. Negative in future, finding big picks in the kill feed as well, as we see Rogue is eliminated. Kuro up front here. Unfortunately, Otaku will fall once more, and Kuro on that Valkyrie, looking to back off to safety. Has an opportunity to 301, peppering in shots, but Atomic will go down, and that's Woodland Chunk and Goat PS finding more big picks.
You know it's bad when Goat is the one just flying in for the fight, angry that they have not placed as high as they want, but Snowy's going to do the exact same and take out Goat PS. That's one of the big problems. We're watching Blast here as they are getting nailed from left, right, and center. It's a little bit of a problem as I don't think they're as kitted as they wish they were, but I'm sure they're going to be able to break out, find a little extra, and you can see Negative on the side, getting a flank angle, sprays down a little bit, sets them a little bit low, and now you're going to try and sprint your way onto this main point angle. Future, of course, jumping in close, got the Mozambiques. Are you going to swing hard? Opens the door and says, hello, let's party. Decoys are out. The door is open, and there ain't no way to play. Smokes out as they are going in close and heavy. Shots out as Cyber is eliminated. Well played by Blast to collect a 4 total, I believe.
Yeah, and Blast winning game number 2. Of course, it was Grim that took game number 1. So both of these teams out here looking to just pad more points onto the scoreboard here as we're watching Blast negative. Future streams looking to potentially pick up something here. Going to rock those akimbos, though it's certainly been working. It looks like the teammate will go with the golden EVA 8, which has been a very dangerous weapon here. We've seen a lot of picks coming out of the EVA 8, the Mastiff as well in the kill feed, and that's going to be pre-Avengers taken out by Sinith, who will get the not only the knock, but the finish as well.
And Dash eliminated as well. These, as we mentioned, some of these teams are unfortunately falling as quickly as they come, and it always feels a little bit bad, these early eliminations before they can even really do anything. And that's just the name of the game. Sometimes you got to be ready to fight off the get-go. We mentioned how quickly some of these POIs can be taken over. It's such a dangerous angle to be played. Currently, it's Southeast currently being collected. The Lagoon will host 1 or maybe 2 squads. On the back end, though, Cortex, Void taking out Kagero, and Rose to fall just as quickly. So little pieces falling into place for another 2 squads that are, and there it is, Dynasty and Strike, both deleted from this map 3.
Yeah, and Kates is another name that we've seen in the kill feed a ton. We see the down there and the finish onto Dayfly, but the Kimbo's coming in as well there for Copium. And right now we're just taking a look at the Gravy baby out here running in the storm, and they've got a little ways to go here as well. Unfortunately, they're going to spot somebody. Oh, are they going to make it to safety? So far able to hang on, but they're pretty far out in this storm to be duking it out here.
I think they just kind of have to. I think they're looking for a couple more util pieces, so they're like, hey, we gotta fight. We don't really have a choice. By the way, I love the fact that Kopi and Fane has avoiding crash out right now. I love them so much for that. I mentioned that earlier, and I just love the name. However, this is going to be a big one. DeGravy we saw in the last tournament as well, trying to make some magic happen, and already in the top 15, you're going to earn points whether or not you get these kills, but it seems a little bit dangerous. As you mentioned, in this zone for so long, they need to get this kill and quickly, but the spray down is causing a few more problems. They do get it, and Havoc is eliminated, but now you got to heal up. You got to get your teammate up and start huffing it back into safety.
Yeah, again, they have quite the trek to go, as you can take a look at the mini-map and see nothing but storm for days. The res will come in, and hopefully they have enough heals to keep them up. There is a loot box not too far. We take a look over toward the north pad, and there is just a plethora of action over here as well. Negative and future streams continuously find the action. They'll rain down the arc stars from a distance, but unfortunately no real damage done just yet. Now able to pepper in with that Nemesis fully charged. Looking to send out the decoy. Unfortunately, it does get stopped here early in the water.
And for Blast, for themselves, not as many kills as I think they would have liked. Playing this outer ring as smoothly as possible. I mean, the zone as well caused a little bit of chaos, but what a spray saying, hey, this is all I really need to play. Getting close, couple shots, and you are eliminated as well. Knights, their shields cannot hold out. And the royalty has fallen here as Blast go ahead and keep collecting heads.
Collecting the heads, 4 is the kill leader there as well as Cypher. Will be landed down, looking to check some of these pillboxes here and gather some loot. As we take a look at the kills here, it does appear that Negative has 4, Team Blast up on top with 6. Acoustic has 3, X-Tau has 3 as well, and it looks like Kate's with 4. Kogoro with 4 as well. So there are a few teams that are very close as far as the kills go here in map number 3.
And I think that's a very important part. I mean, these teams, obviously, they're willing to fight, and everyone's realizing these kills are highly important, and it's forcing some teams that don't usually fight into a better stance, which I really, really like. I know we talked about, hey, keep your own game plan alive, but when push comes to shove, you got to learn how to fight back, and I appreciate that. So, Exercise going ahead, taking Decay's life away. We're down to 13 squads as well. Southern corner here in the Oasis. Enemy hung onto, and Maverick for their own, still hunting, I believe, for their first kills and assists. And they're still also sitting only on blues, which is a little bit of a problem, but I'm sure those will upgrade in no time flat.
Felix geht hier.
A little bit of a check. I think they're having a little bit of fun there. Yeah, they were having a little bit of fun there in the corner. They're just hanging out like, what are we going to do here? Get a couple kills, and unfortunately, we know disconnects do happen. But I think we'll just we'll give it a little bit of time, see what they can do. I mean, they're not in a terrible spot either. On the southern quarter, you have a little bit of time, or southern edge. You got a little bit of time to work with, so it's not impossible to do some. Oh, are they back? Yeah, I think they're good. I think they are just kind of waiting around and hoping for a team to go their way. I'm trying to earn points wherever they can.
Now the Akimbos, but just a skosh of health left. Looking to dip out, pop the bombardment here as well. The smokes go up, and somehow Copium able to hang on here.
I mean, that is a tight window of opportunity right now. Knight, though, on the other side. Not Knight the squad, but Knight the player, as Valor is eliminated. No Valor for those that have fallen. Door shoved in, though, as we're watching Phantom try and collect their own. 6 kills so far on the screen. Maybe they get a few more as well. Inferno for their own. This is Knight, the squad that we were talking about, getting the first 2 here in this match with 10 still alive. But Snowy Goods and Exercise still saying, yo, let's go ahead and take out the gravy. And some Azure is gone. And you can take a look at those kills. Numbers pretty far and spread. Also, we haven't really taken a look. Exercise and X-Tau, Link squad, really showing up with 8 in their bucket.
Yeah, 8 in the bucket and looking for more as well. Blast was 6, not too far behind, and a couple other teams right around that 6 mark as well. So Copium and the kill feed, though, talking about X-Tau. It's X-Tau who gets knocked. Sinith will find the teammate, and with that, Lynx will be eliminated.
I'm taking a look with a lot of these fights. You can see a problem starting to occur. This kind of southern quadrant here is so dangerous, moving in and through. You're able to loot up a little bit and maybe get a couple extra bats if you can, but Maverick are going to have, I think, a tough time entering into the southern side. That's where I think 2 or 3 other squads are kind of holding steady on the defensive position. So for Cade and Fatme, I'm going to sit there and go, hey, I don't think you're going to enjoy what's coming next. If it does, that's great. If not, good luck. And there it is. That's what I was mentioning. A majority share of the teams are now collected around. This is going to be disaster for anyone trying to go through this chokehold. I am scared, Hot Sauce. This is going to be a little bit problematic. Shots going out here as Goat PS and Woodland Chuck Grim say hello. Bring in the money. Bring in the points for a squad that's trying to round it out. That's going to be a nice snipe as Slotme is gone.
Yeah, Goat able to find the drop there with the scout as well. Looking for the teammate. Has spotted one here at the building as they continue to pressure down here and quicken the pace. But I'm not sure if they're aware that there is a lot of players down here as well. We see Sinith and Copium up ahead just in front of them. Wicked not too far in the background there as well. And we could be in store for a little bit of action here.
I think the action is going to be even worse than they might have expected. I mean, you can see an elimination of 3, and for a couple of the squads, especially Grim, you need to pack those numbers up as much as possible. They need the first place plus a couple more points. Remember, we talked about it. 7 is what they're looking for. Nago's out. Maybe this helps out. You burn them all alive, but no. Copium Fane says, yo, this is ours. Another swing as Woodland Chuck is trying to help out. Gets the snap of 1. Are you going to swing to the left? Yes, you do! Phantom is eliminated. Woodland Chuck is able to save their teammate.
Woodland Chuck has been absolutely on fire all day, and this time keeping the peace with a peacekeeper as he slaughters the competition and gets Goat back on their feet here for a little extra time. And already a few kills for this squad as well, and only 4 enemy squads remaining.
I cannot believe they're able to hang on as well as they did. For Grim, they were knocked out at, I believe, 8th last time. This time around in the top 5. And squeeze into 2nd place. That's going to be huge, and maybe eliminate another squad or 2. For Knight and Twitch or Murda, though, this is the big call. You're already hunkered down. You got the max shields. This is plenty of time to play for placement. And of course, you take a look on the other side, and I mean, it's Blast that's still alive and on the western corner for their own right. They are happy where they're going to stand. They're assuming that the zone is also going to pull to that southwest side. This could be a big boon for them. Take a look at all the open space. There's so much room for activities in death. If Blast wish to collect a few more kills.
Yeah, they would certainly love to add a couple more kills. Of course, Grim is still up as well, so Both of our winners from the previous map is up. GXM, as you mentioned earlier, Murder and Knight looking very strong as well. They have the red shields here and potentially could find a dub as well. I'd love to see 3 different teams winning here in the first 3 maps.
I think that would be awesome. But of course, remember, winning now doesn't really bring that much benefit except getting to that 50-point threshold. We could theoretically see 2 teams make it up there, and map 4 being the mainstay play. Woodland Chuck, though, able to drop 1. Down goes the head, and 1000 Relief may not be breathing a sigh of relief. This is going to be that problem. 5 squads remain. Goat and Woodland Chuck saying, yo, I see the fights. Let's go ahead and chase in. Bombs being dropped here as the missiles go off. And it's going to be a chase in. Round 5 ready to go. Onyx is gone. Wicked is dropped. We're down to the top 4.
Yeah, Future Streams finds that extra kill on the Wicked, and they had some good positioning there as well. I mean, we saw them posted up top. They kind of have control of the building, a little bit of that high ground as well. GXM, this Inferno squad kind of tucked down below at the moment. They have that Newcastle looking to kind of maybe just barrier up here and look to lock it down. Unfortunately, they're not exactly inside of this final ring yet. So within the next 40, they're going to have to find a way to kind of transition toward that shorter side.
And the problem for Inferno, you know, Grim and Blast are like, yo, we want to hunt these last few members. This is going to be prime pickings if they have to sprint through open territory. They're going to try and go on the high ground and maybe get across, but there it is. As I mentioned, Inferno are realizing they're kind of caught in between a rock and a hard place, and I don't know if they have any smokes to get across. I think Pathfinder can send a zipline, but I don't know how much it's actually going to do for you. They don't really have the long-range tools to kind of body block. They are going to run in with the shield. And this shield might be enough, but look at this spray. Look at this duo setup here. It's going to be dangers abound here. Ducking down, trying to push close, and now they're going to jump in. Do they get the extra? But no, a bamboozle out as Muda and Knight have to try and do some work, but no, it's negative. And the rest of the squad, Inferno is gone at 4th. Disaster striking, but a boon for Blast.
Yeah, and now 6 kills for Negative as well, who is your new kill leader. 3 assists as well, so maybe potentially looking at least 9 already, but Woodland has been able to rotate to the top of the building here. They have that high ground. Of course, we can see 1000 Relief just kind of tucked inside, ratting that lone member there as well, as we've got 3 teams remaining and 5 players standing.
I mean, who you got your money on? I gotta ask, Hot Sauce, who do you think is gonna come out on top here? Cypher is the last rat alive, by the way. Oh, well, you know, we're down to 2 more. I love you, Cypher, and the squad, but 1000 Relief is literally just playing for points.
Well, you know, he's alone, so I mean that's a smart decision by 1000 Relief, I think here. But Woodland Chuck and them certainly had that slight high ground advantage. It looks like they are going to drop down. 1000 Relief from behind, the third party coming in, and this is absolutely huge.
God!
Future and Goat will steal the kills, though, who were your kill leader.
No way.
1000 Leaf looking for this final one. There's the golden shield, so he knows he's wanting to eliminate, but just kind of hanging out. Could potentially babysit it as well. And 1000 Relief was in a lot of trouble. Now he finds himself in a solid 1v1 position. God.
That is the first kill 1000 Relief has had. What did I mention about the rats? What did I say, Hot Sauce? The rats love playing annoyance. If this is going to work, if 1000 Relief is able to eke out first place, that would put them in a comfortable spot. Of course, Blast and Grim are still able to claim quite a few points, but that's going to be the shots, and we know Future Streams has such a bully moment there, as that's a slide through. Another 18 on the shields. Not enough to really break it, of course, but it's going to be the chase forward. Hard shot. Shield goes up. Enough is there, but in comes the Mozambique. Bring out the Akimbo. Slice through him as quickly as possible. Has to reload. Ready to fire through. Hard chase from the Pathfinder, and it's going to be Blast to take it once again.
Yeah, just on the hunt, absolutely relentless, grappling up and finding those final Mozambique shots. And with that, they will take game number 3 as well. So I believe that's 2 in a row for that squad.
Yes, it is not as many points, but it is still going to be enough. Remember, for, I believe, Blast, it was a squad that we were looking at that only needed about 3 kills to really push themselves up, and they actually cleared it by a mile, by 11 points. We have gotten the points input. By the way, huge shout out to our production crew once again in the TOs, making sure we're up to date. Blast are at 61, Grim are at 47. They got knocked out at, which is wild, by the way. They got knocked out at 3rd. If they were able to find 1000 Relief, that would have put them in contention, but because of Thousand Relief playing Spoiler and playing the Rat as they are, like, huge congrats. Thousand Relief, you are my new hero. Grim are 3 points off. That is a heartbreaker and a half. Blast have to be eliminated early if Grim want a chance at playing for that first place.
Yeah, you know, we thought that maybe both of those teams were going to be able to sneak in, but Blast just 10 kills on top of that first place, really skyrocketing forward. But, you know, as you know, it's just that 50-point threshold, so Grim not too far away. Basically, they just need to make sure that Blast doesn't win any other game from here on out. But Blast has that luxury that we talked about. We know that they have that ability to go out and find kills. They've gotten 9, 14, and 10 retrospectively through these 3 games. So they certainly have the talent to find those kills, but now they get that luxury of just kind of hanging out, playing more of that Rat style, just kind of linger around the outskirts and looking to find that final fight, get the dub, and walk away $600 richer.
Of course, $300 difference between first and second. Yeah, I'm gonna rat. I don't care if that's not my style. I don't care if we put up like double numbers in the last 2 in our wins. I'm gonna rat. I'm gonna try and get an extra little bit in my pocket. And for Grim, I would say you're gonna try and follow the money trail. Pretty much, you're gonna try and follow. If you start seeing Grim up there if you start seeing Blast within the kill feed, you're 100% gonna go and try and chase them. Like I don't even care at that point. Go hunt them down, knock them out, make it hurt so they can't get the dub.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what I would be doing, you know, if I was one of those squads out there, I'd be looking to kind of make sure that they don't have an opportunity to find that win. Of course, you know, it can be tough as well. You can find yourself caught off guard and taken out early as well when you need to find those points. But really, Grim is the only other team that appears to be close, just 3 points away. The rest of the teams are kind of around that 20-point threshold. I mean, third place is 21 compared to Grim's 47. So Flare, Phantom, Dynasty, Jaguar, Knight, Havoc, Inferno, Lynx, Valor, Onyx, all of these very, very close to that third place position. So there's a lot of teams still fighting for the podium, even though some of these top 2 teams kind of have separated themselves from the pack.
Yeah, at that point, I mean, that's exactly how you do it. I want to shout out Thousand Relief again, placed second in that last map. They were able to also place 3rd and 8th. Cypher has actually quietly been building that lead on very low econ. And when I say econ, it's the number of kills that they've gotten. Quite literally, they've only secured 3 total in the majority share of all of the maps that they played so far. So that's the other side of it. You are still able to play your game if you need to and still earn points. Remember, as you said, Hot Sauce, that third place could easily be taken away or collected in a matter of minutes, depending on this game number 4.
And that's, you know, it goes back to talking about, you know, consistency being key, and that's what it's kind of been for Cypher. So they're able to find those first places. Like you said, only 3 kills, but, you know, first place is the equivalent of 12 kills. So placement certainly a little bit more important, even though we like to see all of that action and those kills coming out. But I do believe we are going to take a short break and get these players ready for that next Storm point. So, guys, don't go too far. When we come back, we've got more Apex action. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 2024 Tournament Series brought to you by SharePlay League in collaboration with HLX. We're rocking the duo squads today. My name is Hot Sauce, and still in the booth with me today, the legend Orbital. We've got 3 exciting games already in the bag, and we've got a few more ahead of us here, hopefully, Orbital.
You know, you say that, and yet for Grim, they're hoping this is the last one. We took a little breather because now things are too real. Currently at 61 points, beating the threshold to be eligible to take a first place and first place overall in the tournament. Grim are sitting at 61 points. There is no one else that is currently eligible to place her, so we could have it all end here, or as you said, hopefully a few more in the future. Grim sitting at 47, who is the closest by far at reaching that next place, and then following behind is Cypher and Jaguar, 21 and 20, and then Flare at 18. To put that in perspective, for everyone third and below, at least 3 games are required, in my opinion, of course, to reach that 50-point threshold. There are 2, though, that are on my mind, and only 1 that I'm going to be watching for.
Yeah, Blast, already all they got to do is get the dub here, and they'll walk home $600 richer. Of course, Grim not too far behind, as you had mentioned. But even though Cypher, Jaguar, a lot of these teams are close, I mean, there's a whole list of teams that are within 3 to 5 points of that third place position, which still walks home with $100 as well. So I guarantee you there's a lot of teams going to be fighting it out for not only good position, but for some of those extra kills, because if Blast does happen to end it here, those second and third places are going to matter.
And not just that, it's, finding those kills, but placements as well. To put it another way, Cypher have been able to rack up their points and stay at third place with only 1 kill per game. So all you have to do is place second or third in the map itself, and you can take that spot just as well. We've seen a majority share of the teams, those placing in the top 15, actually still rounding out with, I would say, 4 to 5 kills apiece. So, it's not improbable that you go ahead, claim 2 or 3 kills at the early start, round your way to a nice third place finish in the map, and all of a sudden you're a golden ticket for that $100. But granted, we are still on Storm Point, still very open territory, and a lot of these outskirt zone battles are going to be the mainstay fighting grounds for, are you going to be able to progress further into the game?
Yeah, we saw Grim take the first one and the third one, or Blast, took the second one and the third one, but Grim was able to take the first one, so they had a little bit more success on World's Edge. If they can find a way to get through this Storm Point map and get back to World's Edge, they might find some more success there as well. But I mean, overall, I think Blast is so consistent. Their teamwork is very, very good. They stick together very well. They often find those high ground fights, and when they need to, they can separate a little bit and find that crossfire. So Blast, certainly the team to look out for.
Not just that, they know how to flank, and they know how to utilize their ultimates very, very cleanly. I think at one point we saw them center stage, and normally when you're center at about zone 3, you don't want to make that move, but they said we have no worries. We can push, take control of that southeast quadrant, and just hard rush later. It was so impressive how quickly they were willing to clear, take out an opponent, and be able to retract, get back in position. Their macro, in this sense, is so on point as well.
The macro is on point. Unfortunately, these long bow shots not quite hitting the mark at the moment. They have spotted the opposition down below. They're trying to find this initial kill here as well. The decoy will go out, but no one being bamboozled just yet. As we jump one over to Nova, and we see Just Vibing has made their way back in. So hopefully no more disconnects for this squad. They are going to find a quick pick. That's Future, who finds X-Tau, who was the kill leader in that previous map for quite some time. Going down here early could spell trouble.
I mean, this is just a painful one. You're burned away on your shield. You need to get back. Atomic is actually going to be lost there as Kuro is gone. Gravity and the Gravy both taking a couple kills each, or at least knocks. And now things are going to get spicy. As he said, Nova, though, for their own right, going to be taking a chance at this battle. Huge jump, though, in the kill feed, as Rogue is going to be eliminated in record time.
Yeah, Rogue already taken out 4 squads. In fact, already taken out, and make it 5 as Maverick will fall here as well. And I believe this was the squad that was down below. We saw Maverick up top kind of shooting shots down below. I guess they decided to push, and unfortunately it didn't work out for them as we jump on over to Wicked and Kogoro here, who has had moments of success throughout those first few maps, but not really able to lock down any of those top positions quite yet.
Nemesis here.
I mean, for right now, it's still gearing up. You can see everyone's still on the basic gear in that early fight. Only a certain number of teams will really take that fight with any sort of confidence, so I appreciate it, at least. You rock right in, 5 gone. Around this time, we actually saw about 6 or 7, I think, with how heavy the fighting was going. There's the other side, though. Rustic finding a pick onto Gravity early on. Wicked doing the same to Blaze. So, 2 more squads possibly eliminated finish for Rustic. As we're watching Underdogs, though, chasing in and around saying, how are we going to really play this one? How are we going to find some extra pieces? Valor doing the exact same, playing high, very, very high, northwest quadrant, saying, hey, we're going to look at a chance on the north pad, see if we can gather up some more loot before making our way in.
Yeah, I love landing at the north pad. It's nice, nice and far on the outskirts. There's a ton of good loot there as well, and you can kind of make those rotations in as the ring begins to go. But it does look like someone was pinging some gold Akimbo Mozambiques as we take a look at a couple. That's Divik and Lethal here at the Fallen Beast. Our acoustic Dayfly on the outside, peppering in some shots. A slight shield advantage here as well, but we see Lethal boosted back up here into that gray, and it does look like Lethal and Divik are backing off a bit here.
I think this is the right call. Again, you don't... I mean, you're high ground anyway, so you have that kind of priority shooting, but you don't want to get too close. Your hopes are kind of lost if you get eliminated, and that's why Dayfly and Rustic are still hanging around this back edge, as there is going to be lost on the back end as well on that kill feed. Well, yeah, so this is the right call. You're trying to play smart. You're trying to make your way in, but Rustic and Dayfly are just kind of holding you at the edge. Granted, there's enough time. You can take a look. Things are plenty workable, but you can see Flare saying, okay, we'll actually relent as well. Everyone go back up to looting, as we are losing teams very quickly. If we don't loot up, we are the next on the chopping block.
Yeah, you know, and ironically enough, I really haven't seen future streams in them in the kill feed too much. So Blast and crew might just kind of be playing that little, that more of that smart role, that ratty role that we talked about, just because all they do need is the dub at this point. Points mean absolutely nothing to them here as they look to close it out and clinch the dub.
I mean, for their own as well, we haven't seen them in the kill feed either, and this is exactly how the previous tournament went. It was very, play smart, play safe, and just, wait it out. I'm sure we'll see them pop up later on. For the moment, I think they really are just ensuring that their loot kits are perfect. For Flare, go ahead, grab a couple extra pieces. Say, okay, let's see if we can loot up on this edge, though. Lethal and Divik, Havoc for their own, making their way into the zone, getting ready for what could be another firefight.
Hopefully we'll see another firefight here soon. Looks like they're pinging out the hammer point rounds as well in the kill feed. Yar and Magakeki there finding some picks. That will be a Titan that gets eliminated. So 20 squads remaining as we go flying through the sky here, high and dry across the launch pad. One has been spotted, a hailstorm of bullets raining down, but no real damage done just yet as they continue to pressure on the hunt. They have spotted him running out to the wayside here, far right distance, the launch pad up, shots ringing out, but again, just no real, I think just kind of a fever dream for that one.
I mean, you knew it was going to be a difficult one, but I appreciate the effort, I think is what we say there. We appreciate the effort, and instead you outline them into the sky. So, take that for a what? For Northeast Quadrant, though, we are going to see the likes of FTB just kind of chilling out, trying to make sure that they got some edge control. If they can, that's going to be great. If not, you're trying to push your way in. You only got about 30 seconds till the next zone, and then you can start making your way around. But you got the Hemlock plus Mozambiques. You know this is going to be a hard-hitting combination if you can get up close and personal.
Up close and personal, that is what they want to do, and these smokes should be able to help them kind of make their way in if they should come across some trouble. Of course, they have Valkyrie to get out if they need to as well, but speaking of Valkyries, that one's going to take a lot of damage. Have to duck behind the Newcastle wall here and look to pop up that shield as they use the tall boy. 8 enemies will come up on that scan as well, and we had a lot more action in some of these earlier maps. This one seems to be a little bit more calm here early.
I specifically think that's because Blast and Grim are just like, nah, we're not going to take as many kills just yet. We're gonna take our time, make sure we move our way up. I really think that's what it is, and Do I appreciate that? Yeah, absolutely. I think the other teams are also very much aware of this. The big kings of the forest have not bared their fangs yet. And you don't want to be the ones to kind of give that away. So play it smart, make your way in, and then get ready for the final firefight is going to be that big call.
That will be the big call, for especially for those top 2 squads looking to close things out here this evening. And right now we've got the underdogs just kind of taking their time roaming around. It does look like we're going to get into some action here, though. Resonant in some trouble as the GOAT will take him down. Woodland Chunk will clutch up the second one there, and Grim will find and be the new kill leader here as well. So maybe a little bit of a calm before the storm, but now the action is kicked off and Grim has made their way into the kill feed.
I mean, they're already happy. They already hit that threshold. Remember, they only really needed 3 points. Even if they crash out at 0 here in placements, they got the points that they need. So at this point, you are really just playing spoiler. Can you continue to knock down these opponents and work your way into the likes of Blast? And are you going to be able to shut them out? At the current moment, 15 is what we have, and I don't think it's going to change any time soon with how slow pace this Zone 2 has been.
Yeah, you know, and I almost feel like if you're Grim, you might want to start playing a little more ratty at this point. You have enough points above the threshold. Now it should be more of your job to hang around and make sure that you just last longer than Blast does. And if it happens to be one of those last few teams in that kill feed, maybe look to third party them more specifically so that you can ensure that they don't grab that dub and you have an extra shot yourself to maybe clinch that up.
Enemy guns there.
I would agree, but I also feel like Grim are very upset with how the last few rounds have gone, and they're just like, we want to get the kills. We don't want to be ratted against. We don't want to have that issue. We want to place high on the board. I granted, the right call would be to rat. I agree, but these extra fights around the map are really causing some havoc. Hey, jokes. Right now, outside, inside the smoke, though, this is the danger, but the Mozambique's doing some work, and you land the hits. However, Divot goes straight down as Gravity is going to hang on to it. Can you get the shots hiding behind a teammate shield? Yes, the pop-up works, and Echo is gone. Havoc, make the magic happen, but you got to get some shields. Lethal is going to go ahead and heal up, try and get Divot up as well, and it looks like Havoc are going to live to fight another day.
Yeah, great job. Divik was able to find one knock before being dropped there as well. So good job by Lethal to clutch it up. Unfortunately, these storms are going to start to hurt quite a bit as we see them able to get that revive here barely. Hopefully they have enough heals. Of course, there's a couple loot boxes here to kind of top them off if they need it. But with that hill closing, they've got a little bit of a distance to close here to get back in.
Right there.
I think the distance should be a misnomer. I think the rest of the teams are a little bit further in already, so they have enough time to at least get in and kind of prep themselves and heal up and get ready for the next fight. Nova, for their own, also trying to work their magic. Take over a couple of those advantage points if they can. Now we take a look at Blast. Center stage, pretty much. We mentioned this earlier. They are happy where they're at, chilling like villains, ready to go.
Target spot.
And quite a few batteries there, quite a few bats on deck as well. So it looks like they are kind of preparing themselves for that late game fight. They certainly have a ton of heals as well. And the underdogs, though, have spotted a squad out stuck into the storm, looking to rain down some grenades here and kind of pad that damage a bit as this team tries to find a way back into the zone. Gonna have to heal up now, up into the air like they don't care. Off the balloon, looking to come in. Can they find some success? They hit at least one of those shots. So again, we appreciate that effort, as Orbital would say. And Thousand Relief, though, who we saw kind of ratting out that solo one, does get T-Dobs in the kill feed here as well. Knight will be eliminated.
Hurts a little bit. And yeah, for Thousand Relief, they were the best rat out there, able to secure that third place so far. And getting the early kills means that you're just pushing yourself further up that leaderboard and really ensuring that you're fighting before that third place. Or if you can do even better, maybe look at second with a pretty high flying score. That does mean taking out some of the high flying opponents, though. Sometimes that kite can only go so far. Flare for their own Dayfly and Rustic early on. We're getting some of those eliminations and some of those powerful moments, but so far only one kill to the duo's name, which means that they're going to be hunting for maybe one or two more. Dynasty now eliminated as Kagero says thank you very much.
Kagero able to find the elimination here and looks to pad the score a bit more as we take a look at Dayfly and Acoustic on Team Flare, rocking the Scout, the Volt here up top. They can see those bullets kind of coming out here. They know they're inside, able to pepper in some shots, take a little off to the top from that purple shield, but again, not a lot of damage being done just yet, and they have to be careful getting out this far. They don't want to get pinched in between two teams here.
Any third party getting pinched and getting pincered in, difficulties would ensue. Havoc, of course, slide out to western side. Seeing a few more bodies does mean that they're just trying to zipline across. Are they going to reach it, though? Divic looks like they are trying to chance it, get shot up, but they baited out perfectly. Lethal was like, yo, what's up? I got these two. Don't shoot my teammate. And it was so well done. Bait one, get ready to go. Divic sliding back, ready to help out on the fight. And it looks like they are on the hunt. High ground low now. Snaps up, and Phantom is eliminated. Well played by Havoc.
Yeah, Lethal, Divic working together to find that. Divic doing a great job of coming back, though, as we still see one here inside. Shots ringing out, and Lethal and Divic will combine. Nova will go down. Kogaru will find Dr. King to the ring, and with that, we'll have 9 squads remaining here, and what potentially could be the final map of the day if Blast finds a way to secure it.
Yeah, so many kills were going around that I was lost in the sauce there. And now it's also going to be Lynx as Exercise saying, yo, please don't eliminate me. I just want to survive. I just want to move up in the point scheme. But you're low in the shielding. A blue is all you got. Mozambique's the nemesis. Decent for a little bit of battle, but not in a 2v1 position. Havoc is also eliminated on the back end. So here comes the play. 7 remaining in this stance. Dayfly trying to hunt for another piece of the puzzle, goes up high, hunting them out. Are you going to find that kill? Dayfly is like, I probably can't. I'm going to go ahead, back up. Don't put myself in an elimination. Oh,
the
Rustic,
Kobe.
what an aid.
Yeah, from downtown, dropping bombs over Baghdad. Acoustic with the nade will find Exercise and add another point to the board here as we have 6 squads. And ring 4 about to close here in about 30 seconds. Things are just getting a little bit tiny. I hope you're not claustrophobic because you're going to have to deal with Negative, who's in the kill feed, putting up numbers.
And for their own right, Grim also a little bit low. They have the shielding to work at, but I think they're a little bit cut off. They need time to kind of heal up, get ready for the next battle. And I think they got it. Taking a look here. Yep, Goat able to heal up to full. Still waiting for Woodland Chuck to do the exact same. But inside zone, perfect spot to kind of slow down. Play this one smart, but they are on the hunt for Blast. Where is Blast? Where are they looking? What a snap. Looked at the gate and said, no entry for you.
No entry, but they're finally break through there as we can see the shots continuing to rain down. And there was a little bit of damage done here from Grim as Woodland Chuck and Goat look to lock it down. They spotted 2 sliding down the hill in a tough position. Shots bring it out. Goat's going to eat some of those as well. No shield left here for Goat as they'll look to close the door and top off. And now it's going to be Woodland Chuck stepping in, trying to find a way to pad into that damage. And now the pressure will come in as well. We see the ult going down. The thermals will rain down as well. He's going to get them both.
Oh, what a burn.
They're both on fire. And with that, Kogoro go down. Wicked finds one. Acoustic as well. And Goat will bleed him out. Onyx will fall to the wayside. 3 squads remaining.
But see, that's going to be a problem. Take a look. It's 3 alive, but guess who else is on the other side? It is going to be Cypher. This, once again, squad that has ratted their way forward before is now in prime position. And what's surprising is it's actually Blast that are sitting with only 1 player alive. It's a 2v2v1. And Cypher are ready to play absolute kickers to it. Woodland Chuck about to stand in front of a pinch. You know that Negative is probably on the outskirts, but they're going to try and wait. Look at this. They are trying to push forward. They're trying to find Negative as quick as possible. Future is respawning. That could be a Hail Mary of a play, but it's going to take some time. There's the push around the corner to go. They want to get Negative as quick as possible. Future's here. Future's here. This could be a dangerous spot. Shields are broken all in around. Woodland Chuck trying to slowly heal up, and they do. Down goes 1. Negative is gone. However, Goat got pushed as well. This is a chance. Mozambique can do work. Are you going to get this elimination? No, you're not. Future has to run away. Future is so low. No shields alive. How are Cypher gonna play this one? Futures is up, shots ring out, and Blast is eliminated! We're still in! third place for Blast. Now means Cypher have a fighting chance. They're going to rush forward as well. They want this first place. Are they going to get it? They should, but then it's down. No way. No way this happened. Grim are not going to work it out. Cypher will be your champions for map 4.
And just like that, within those top 4 positions, we see 3 of them left standing, Blast and Grim. And Cypher doing a great job of holding out, much like they did in that previous series. They waited to watch that kill feed to see at least a member go down before pressing in for that third party. So Blast and Grim duke it out, but it's Cypher who comes away with a win. And we talked about how close they were to snatching up that third place podium position. So with that dub, they should be able to at least secure third.
I think they more than did so. It was a phenomenal showing, and I was watching the entire time. And we mentioned this from the beginning. This is how it works out. As soon as you know Blast is in a disastrous position, disadvantageous, you were waiting for your teammate to come back, the call came out, Grim. Hey, we gotta lock them down. Not only that, of course, Cypher had center position, so it's like, yeah, you can't really push Cypher at that time and give the option up. Well played call to ensure that Grim are still in the running, now in eligibility position to reach first place. But Cypher slowly crawling their way up, have placed quite well, 8th in game 1, 3rd in game 2, 2nd in game 3, and just to complete the trifecta, 1st in game 4.
Just continuously getting better, finding those consistent placements. And now, you know, after all these teams were separated or are very close as far as third on goes, they find themselves at a 10-point lead from 3rd to 4th as well. Of course, Grim and Blast are pretty far up there, but again, once you cross that 50th point threshold, it no longer matters. So both Blast and Grim just looking for the dub to secure that first place victory. Of course, 600 for first place. Second place is going to get 300, and then third place will get 100 as well. But you know, you get some of those bragging rights with first place as well, which is kind of nice.
Here's the other side of it. I do want to shout this out as well. Is Cypher are able to layer in another win in round 5. If they can do so and push themselves to eligibility, keep in mind, it doesn't matter how many points Blast and Grim have. If you lock down that last game, if you dub out, say only 55 points or something like that, you take the win, I believe, at the end of the day. It doesn't matter how many more points the opponent is above them. If you win that last game, you are the champion. And that is why we are saying it's so important. Cypher creeping their way up, only need 14 points to go ahead and put themselves in eligibility range as well.
Yeah, it's going to be easier said than done with both Blast and Grim out there on the battlefield, though. And we did see Blast play a little more cautious. I'm not sure exactly when they lost Future, but it was kind of tough for them being in that solo position, but able to get that respawn right at the end. We saw the teams kind of running over there, and I think that was great from Cypher. They knew that Grim was going to push that, so they just kind of hung back and allowed, you know, for themselves to be in that better positioning. So a smart decision by Cypher. They're going to need to do it at least one more time, and they're going to need a couple kills on top of that first place if they want to get into that threshold.
I think that just speaks to how well these teams are slowly running in. And again, it really is that consistency factor. All 3 of the teams at the top standing have been consistent in their own ways. Cypher with the positioning, making sure to read those zones appropriately. And at the same time, you know, Blast and Grim still reading it in their own value. Huge wins across the board, really making sure that they can stay in. But now we're going back. Remember, we go right back and away. No more Storm Point. It is World's Edge time. And we are playing on the edge of the world itself as 2 teams are now eligible. And I got to sit there and say, I feel like this is going to go right back into Grim's territory. They were the ones that came out with a win all the way back in map 1 of the day. If you don't remember that, it was a wild one as well. There's a reason these squads are at the top. But back in this verticality space, I think Grim are going to have a little bit better time. They're going to be running and gunning a little bit more. And, of course, fighting for that first place.
Yeah, you know, Grim able to take that first game. But honestly, Blast took the second one as well. So they're certainly capable of winning on World's Edge as well, which I think it kind of makes it that much more interesting. We know both of these teams have gotten a dub on this map. Both of these teams are past that threshold as well. So both of them looking for that first place victory and to take home that $600 prize.
I'm just hot sauce. We're pushing the limits here. I am very, very scared. Like I said, I'm always terrified of when it comes down to kind of like this elimination piece, because my eyes are on that kill feed all the time. I mean, I am hardcore watching, seeing, hey, who's gonna step up, who's gonna kind of fall away, and it's just, it always scares me. It's always gonna scare me now, kind of watching how this plays out. So I really don't know who to root for. Both Blast and Grim have looked so dang good in their own rights, and I cannot sit here and say I know who's gonna come out on top.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially with Cypher coming into the mix, you know, getting third, second, and now first as well. So just throwing a little wrench in the mix. But, you know, again, Cypher wants to get into that threshold. But at the same time, they have to be careful because they don't want to go out early. If they were to happen to lose early and, you know, maybe Flare steps up, gets some points, but Blast wins the game and it's over, they could find themselves off of that podium position. So that's something that Cypher has to also kind of think about or keep in the back of their mind as well.
And it's really, are you looking behind you and watching as those runners are, you know, kind of reaching for your arm, trying to brush past you, or are you just looking forward? And for me, I'd actually really hope they are looking forward, saying, hey, we don't worry about third place. We don't want to aim for third place. We want to aim for second. We want to aim for first. We want to aim like we are winning this at the end of the day. And I think that's going to be the big point. They have played spoiler now twice. Keep that in mind. They have played spoiler twice in different scenarios. They are getting very close to eking out victories all the way around. So, I mean, they got one under the belt. Let's see if they can do it again. New map, or I wouldn't say new map, but different map this time around. Let's see what they can do. We're taking a look at the X-Ray duo, though. A squad that is also trying their best, but Valor immediately out there, unfortunately, saying goodbye.
Yeah, Valor quick to be eliminated, and honestly, 3 squads already gone, it looks like, as we can just see the kill feed just being littered with names up there. Loxanity finds a drop with the thermal here as well. Cates, who's had a lot of success, drops Exercise with the Wingman. So, you know, the Wingman we haven't got to see a lot of today, but it's certainly a fun weapon to watch.
I just feel it's you know, that little comfort gun that you have to have in the back of your pocket. If you can't find anything else, it's like, I got a Wingman. Yay. It's, you know, just a little razzle dazzle. It's like when no one shows up to your birthday party and you're just like, hey, it's a balloon popper at the end of the day. No, just me. All right. Taking a look here. We see me going ahead, taking out 3 Avengers there. And this is going to be that problem. Maverick for themselves have always seemed to you know, get themselves into very difficult positions. I think I've seen their names pop up very early on, and it always seems they're contested at some of these POIs, which really hurts. Whenever you're contested and you just don't have anything in the bucket, like you're running around with a 301, which isn't bad, but it's just like, dang, I already lost my teammate and stuff. It hurts.
Yeah, you don't have a teammate, you don't have a ton of ammo to work with. The heals really aren't in your favor as well, but T-Dops is going to drop Maga here, excuse me. Just Vibing's going to find Blazer as well. The Burners are eliminated. Dash goes down as well. Fatme does find a bleed out, though, who was the player we saw in trouble moments ago. And Yar has a downed partner as well. It looks like they're trying to thirst Maga here. So dropping down, looking to apply some help. Peppering in some shots. Breaks the shield here as well. But dipping back up to safety, looking to pop a couple cells.
You're alive. I don't think Maga KK's gonna get up. I think they're camping the bodies. Atomic and Jaguars as well, losing out their lives. Titan being eliminated so quickly. Are you gonna get it? Nope. There it is. I was wondering about that. The camp worked out well. So it is gonna be ACUE to take that elimination. And there is Blast once again on your screen. A team that we're gonna watch for and say, hey, are you going to play strong? Are you gonna play well? Or are you gonna play a little bit slower pace? And it looks like so. West side quadrant currently being populated by them. They're going to loot up, make sure they are completely geared for a fight to come.
Yeah, I mean, 10 squads already eliminated here within the first few minutes as well. So really kind of eliminating a lot of the competition, spreading the herd thin here, so to speak, as we see the underdogs already able to gather at least 1 blue shield. But if you take a look at the horizon, you can see many blue shields out there as well.
I mean, everyone's just still, it's still early game, right? We're still taking a look at round 1. It's not a crazy stance to still see blues and grays. Maybe once we start seeing those perks come up, then we get a little bit worried. Right now, this is going to be TSG holding down this house as in comes Hunk and the rest of Slice. And this duo is going to try and round out. They're playing the lower ground. They do have to chase through. And no, they're just going to bunker up a little bit, which I really do appreciate. Get that health back. But look at the doors. This is such a dangerous spot to be in as shots go out. And actually, with those Mozambiques, you lay down a lot of damage on the outside. Hunk is going to run them down and swing hard, gets a knock. Are you going to get that finish? No shield really to play with. You're going to pop up that bubble, but the rest of Underdog saying, hey, maybe we can get some more. Great shot, 48, shield is burst, and there it is. Warriors are gone, eliminated within the housing pit.
Yeah, I almost feel like everybody should have the Akimbo Mozambiques at this point. They are just so devastating, and you're almost kind of pleasantly surprised at the range that they even offer in some of those fights. You think that they might be a little too far away, but nope, it peppers in the damage just fine.
I think we should go here.
Now, how much are you going to loot out of that? That's my question. How much are you going to loot out of it? And how quickly are you going to get ready for the next fight? Again, a lot of these collision courses are set. You can see here, Fatmi and Cade getting ready for a chance. I believe those are actually 2 rats, though, as a 2v2 is going to occur on the top side. Kuro plus a Lock Sanity. They're going to get into a firefight, eliminating one so far, looking for a secondary if possible. And taking a look here, Maverick on their own edge is just kind of having a little bit of fun, looting up, getting high ground, and not really worrying about anything else.
Yeah, just having a little fun playing their game plan that they are looking to stick to. They have spotted someone pressuring through the barrage here. The smoke up in front of them, and they have to be careful here as we can see Revenant looking to come dancing down. Maybe just up here on the high ground, has a potential opportunity to dash off of the zip line and shield back up here. So Fatmi able to get off to safety here for the time being.
Danger dance as well, by the way. If you're Fatmi, you hate the fact that you are just now hitting blue. It always feels kind of bad, but Cade is more than happy about that one. You were able to stay alive. You're able to play things out. The Geyser is currently populated as well. Nova for their own, chasing in to buildings and saying, yo, let's go ahead, go to those high rises. Let's see who else we can find here. For a moment, though, no one getting too far in the mix. Wicked and Kagero, though, saying, we could use a little bit of help. Battering up, trying to stay alive. A little bit of a charge. What a snap, though. Beautiful job knocking down the likes of Dobbs. Now you just got to get one more. Maybe you can get his shield a little bit busted, though, as Wicked needs to battery up as well. It's looking dangerous. You're able to get the knock, but not much more.
Able to find at least one of the knocks. They know they're down below here. And now with the shields coming in, look at the press together. But it looks like they were coming up after him. And Wicked will find Kate's here as well. Dayfly goes down. Epic Cow, excuse me, finds only the, not only the knock, but the elimination here as well.
That was a fast-paced blur, but that's what we love to see. Quake, BECS representing. Hits Loud and Dr. King. Looking to layer down that damage just on the high ground. And I think they got a pretty nice space. They got a long way to run, though. Take a look at how far they got to move. They still got a minute 45, but a lot of ground to cover and a lot of space that could lead to a lot of pain. They're actually running straight into another squad, which is a dangerous spot to be in. Quake for their own, trying to hunker down. They got the smoke out, and they're going to try and get back, but they have no shields, and Danger's abound. Down goes the knock, and now Hits Loud is about to be hit hard, and that's Quake eliminated as they ran straight into Woodland Chuck, and a squad Rogue on the far end will be eliminated just as quickly.
Yeah, Divik's going to go down here as well on the other side of things from Urak in the kill feed as we take a look now at the underdogs who are still hanging out and hanging around here. Not a ton of kills on the board for them just yet, but still looking toward that important placement. But here we go. This is going to be Grim and Blast going head to head. Both of these teams looking to get the dub. Neither of them wants to get eliminated early, but with a dub here, it could potentially help make that run just a little bit easier.
I honestly wonder. I don't think they actually know they met each other. I wonder if they get one knock and then immediately walk away, or they fragment some damage and say, hey, maybe we can do some work. But I don't think you want to take that chance this early on. But I think they have an inkling. They have an inkling that it is each other. Grim for their own are going to go on the high ground, round around all the way. No, they're going the long way. They're disregarding that fight, which I really do appreciate. Taking a look here at Blast, they also rounded their way in on the southern side. As I said, both teams, gentlemen's agreement, don't take that fight.
Yeah, I think they could probably tell but how high the shields were and how good the shooting was that, hey, this might be that other top tier team that's giving us a run for our money. So let's not go out just yet. There's still a ton of squads left. We don't want to get third partied. We don't want to kind of get overzealous and put ourselves in a bad position. So both teams really making the smarter decision there to pull off and make sure that they live to fight another day.
That's what happens when you have a lot of stuff on the line. Both of you are eligible for first place, and nothing short of that will do. It's going to be a nice little grab, though. Once again, it is going to be Grim. The squad kind of setting up here on the top side of the railroad. And a quick elimination as an echo of their lives lost. And it will be a nice elimination, 13 left.
Yeah, Woodland Chunk and Goat still out there in the kill feed, even though all they need is a dub. So having some fun and finding some elims here as well, as there's future streams in negative. The other team that has passed that threshold and looking for a dub as well. Looking to hold down the launch site at the moment. Lucas in some trouble, and Goat's going to find another one. This Grim squad is feeling fearless.
I mean, they are just so on top of it. Taking a look at where Cypher is, this other team that we've been kind of watch skill the leaderboards. They're staying alive. They're doing what they normally do. But you can see everyone kind of battling. Cyber is now out. Who is going to get that finish, and who is going to meet who? Currently, high ground being taken. And this is going to be the inside quadrant. Just Grim ensuring to get a safe route in. And now taking a look, is anyone going to be there to contest them? Yes, on the back end, Inferno might get a little bit of a snapshot. But the rest of Maverick chasing him from the southeast, saying, okay, no worries, we are in zone F. X-Ray eliminated as well.
Yeah, X-Ray is going to go down here. We saw the Kimbos once again from Slice coming in and putting in work as we jump over to Nova here. Just vibing, and Crew looking to rotate around. Still just outside of the hill. Has a little time. Shots from above, though, and Future is going to find Just vibing. This is that other Blast squad we said looking to kind of just lay low. But when they find an opportunity to pick up a kill, they certainly don't hesitate to grab it.
Nova's kind of pissed about that fact. Why couldn't you just leave my buddy alive? Why couldn't you do that? Just let me live. And that's going to be the other side as well. Oh, Woodland Chuck actually found Cypher. I believe that's going to be a huge boom. We'll have to keep track of that one as well. But Nova currently in a rat position, 1 alive, just waiting for a chance. 11 squads remaining and 20 players alive. There's the finish that we are waiting for. And it's going to be a dangerous one in there. Onyx, 2 alive. Wicked and Kagero have had their moments, but with the smokes out, this is going to look very, very dangerous. Trying to wait to spot it out. Huge a zip. Good damage. No shield broken, though. It looks like Onyx are going to pull out of this one. Just kind of waiting, capping down that damage even more. Just burning all of those smokes.
All the smokes burned out at the moment. Pathfinder, Bangalore, Team Onyx looking to hold it down here for the time being. And again, honestly, I think there's a lot more squads being a little more cautious here in this one. We still see 11 squads left here as we get ready to round out ring number 3, which is a little bit more than we're used to at this point.
I think, again, it just goes down to the top squads playing this one real smart, playing this one very close to the chest and not allowing themselves to get caught out of position. I wouldn't be surprised to see a full-on 3-top again in the final zone. Underdogs, of course, trying to flush out an opponent here, wanting dubs of their own. They have 4 total, at least from what we're seeing. Maverick being eliminated on the back end is losing a few more, but a nice little teleport gets their opponents out of this line of sight. But how far are you really going to go? Hunk trying to hunker down, saying, yo, what's up? Let's fight. But needs a little bit of a shield up if they want to play this one nice and easy. Yellow on the far end. Epic and Johnny, they got some points under their belt as well, but Azur is in there as well. Mirage setting up those decoys. Is going to be enough. Ooh. Ooh!
What a great job of, I don't know if that was, you know, just pure skill or if maybe there was a little guessing game in there, but certainly picking the right. No bamboozle coming out as the Gravy will pop heads and get bread as they find a nice down here and a pick. 8 squads remaining as things get a little bit tighter here. We take a look at Snowy Goods and the Gravy. Team Azur having some success here recently, but now I believe they know there's someone else out here. We can see Future and Negative down below and able to get those shields back, but they are lurking in the shadows at the moment.
I love the fact that they were literally hiding around that edge and just like, nah, we won't take that one just yet. We'll sit off on the edge. We'll let them fight. Uh-oh. All right, you fly low. You're good. I thought there was a little bit of a mess up, but no, you're just repositioning off to the eastern side and getting ready for when the opponents, I think, come out of those doors, and you're going to try and collapse in on them, which I really, really like. At the same time, maybe it's just rounding out. You don't think they're going to swing out to the east. Future, though, saying, yes, they are. Let's go hunt them. Sees a body out. and says, hey, let's take these kills if possible, and let's ensure that they can't fight us back.
And unfortunately, by pushing out there, it could allow them to kind of rotate in. Of course, they're on that far side of the zone here, so this could potentially give them a little bit better footing, a little bit better positioning here as they've now swapped sides with the teammates here. And we can see Negative Future peppering in. The thermal comes in almost through the shields, now fleshed out as Negative will pop a quick bat. Has help from the teammate here who continues to push in. The Bamboozle will come out. Now the pressure from the EVA 8, and Negative will sit down Snowy Goods. One more remaining, tucked behind the corner as the hailstorm of bullets will rain down, and Negative will be your kill leader at 5 as they look to stay alive.
I swear, that squad looks better and better every time we see them. You can almost hear the comms of just how decisive they are. Are we taking the fight or not? However, once again, we're in a position just like in, I believe, game 3 or 4. Thousand Relief is once again the only one alive, and now you're getting sprayed down. I don't think Cypher are going to enjoy this. No, it's Negative quite literally taking out their opposition, and Cypher is eliminated at 6. Now it's going to continue, though, as Grim find their own dangerous position. High jump and around. One more left alive, as that's Johnny to drop here. Grim saying, this is all ours, no worries. We are hanging on to our edge. Goat for their own, throwing down with the best, and they're going to leave it all to that edge. Very nicely done.
Yeah, they're pressing in here, though, and there are quite a few teams tucked in. We can see one trying to those Epic Cow to get safety. Now shot on the back, though. Woodland Chunk in a lot of trouble here. Has to dip down, finds the smoke. They'll tuck into the corner looking for the battery. Unfortunately, there are teams all around, and they may have moved in just a little bit too far too early here as they find themselves in a tough position, but maybe they can linger down below and find these shields.
Well, you know who didn't find the shields? It was Yellow. Yellow eliminated here. No chance to kind of rebuttal. You can see here, it's a very tight quarters. 4 inside and 4 on top, quite possibly. I think everyone is just kind of taking a look and seeing what they can actually get here. So very spaced out. 2 top, 2 low. And then a couple outside as well. This is a very dangerous spot. Mirage sending out a little bit of clones, seeing if they can catch anyone unawares. But no one is going to have that problem. You can take a look. Underdogs, high above. A little different spot than they're used to. If they can make it work, that's huge. I think I see Max all the way through as well. The little space, you're just waiting for an opportunity. Is it going to happen? Eyes out, slice. Watches as the shot goes wide.
Ooh, and I love the Kraber. He was lining it up for a while. Unfortunately, nobody's standing very stationary. Maybe not wanting to take the shot, but he's going to find that one on the move here as well for 140. As they begin to ping out the competition here. 4 squads in total remaining. Things get a little bit tighter here as Ring 5 begins to close.
And this is going to be it. Whether or not you want to fight, this is it. And honestly, the Kraber is not going to have that much fun. You only got 6 more shots right now. But for the underdogs, you want to bait out as much time as possible. Actually, you're still in zone. What another shot. Beautiful job. Snapping up some more damage, but only got 5 shots remaining. 4 in the chamber. Mozambique's ready to go if things get a little bit dicey. But you're going to force them and flush them out once again around this mountain. A 25 dink onto the shield. Keep in mind, though, no one has moved just yet. This is going to be a dastardly breakout, and I don't think anyone really has more nades to work with, at least in the smoke department. So this is where the abilities are going to be a high-rise piece. That's actually Negative and Future off on that rock. They need to start possibly moving because they're going to have the longest to go. Woodland Chuck hunkering down in this corner. No way. Rats are around. Hot sauce. This is going to be so epic at the end.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of got stuck down there from that initial battle. They got pincered in down there, but they were able to find some survivability down there because it looked like no teams were really chasing him. So they haven't moved for minutes, just hunkering down there, being patient, waiting this one out. And meanwhile, Future Streams trying to work their way in. They have to deal with that Kraber. If they happen to peek over the edge, though, it could spell trouble for one of these 2 teams, Grim or Blast.
I love this stack, by the way. 100%. I love this. Grim are playing this as ratty as you can for good reason. Once again, low ground. However, wherever this zone is going to collapse, this is dangerous. Oh my god, underdogs are taking a chance. You are going to get free fired on if you are not careful, but you reposition at just the right time. You say, hey, we're not worried. We know the rest of the teams are waiting, but now they get shot a little bit out of air. Drop a little bit of smoke thanks to utility in the bucket. Kraber with 4 shots available. Massive amount of ammo in the dualies. if you can. The akimbo setup is going to be beautiful. Nate's out. Go ahead, get yourself some shielding, and maybe you flush them out. You punch them down to lower ground. This could be dangerous. Remember, remember where everyone is. Grim, as well as the other squad, are going to be dropped in to this piece of supply, but Future says, nah, you didn't push me off. Slice of JAO is going to be dropped down to the ground, so Future may have been gifted a huge piece of that pie. Missiles are raining down and around as Blast still holding position.
Yeah, Blast doing a great job right now. Their confidence just being exuberated out here on the battlefield. Meanwhile, Grim still tucked down below, still not moving, still being patient as the underdogs fall. Our top two teams are both still in this. Of course, Blast up top, Grim the one to watch below as they remain patient. We see the zip line coming out here as well, not opting to go on it just yet as Kogoro and Wicked are peppering in shots. The bamboozle here as well, the pressure coming in. Blast in a little bit of trouble. How long does Grim wait before they decide to press?
Oh, it might be right here. Onyx are trying to do their best to run havoc, and it looks like they are doing work. Negative is very low. Onyx is eliminated though, but that leaves Grim to take the dub. They ran it out and scored the lead. Grim are your tournament champions.
Hashtag rats on top, baby. The Rats do it yet again. Grim able to hunker down. They were finding some good positioning. Then they found themselves in a ton of trouble. And even one of the members spotted them going up a zipline but didn't pursue. They were able to just kind of hunker down, bat up, and wait it out. They noticed in the kill feed that the top two or the top squad was going at it. They press in nicely, and it made that work just a little bit easier for him. Grim able to secure that first place victory, $600 in their pocket. Woo! Of course, Blast won't be going home empty-handed as well. And I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to wait until those scores are tallied. But I do believe Cypher was able to hold on to that third place position.
Very narrowly, if anything comes through. I give a lot of props. Onyx fought hard. At the very end, they started out only in map 122 with 2 kills, and they did not place well until maps 3 through 5. And I think they're just outside that range. Yeah, Onyx at 4th feels so bad. 5 points behind. You are 100% correct, Hot Sauce. It is going to be Cypher at 3rd.
Hey, so they're able to hold on. I mean, it's well-deserved. We saw a lot of success. They continuously got better from 8th to 3rd to 2nd to 1st. Of course, they stumbled a little bit there in Game 5, but it was enough for them to hold on and take home that $100 prize as well. And ironically, it was Blast with 97 points, just a little bit more than Grim, but you just had to break that threshold, get the dub. Grim able to secure it. Congratulations to them as well. But, I mean, that was just not only a ton of fun to watch, but a ton of fun to cast. There was just so much talent littered across these teams, and I really like this duo aspect of it as well. We weren't sure if we were going to see as much fighting, but I felt like there was almost more fighting.
Well, it's so easy to third party now because you're not really third partying. You're just getting that last kill in there, and it does bring a lot more fun to it. And again, in the duos, I feel like obviously with the predetermined teams, you feel much more confident moving into a lot of these fights. You say, hey, we've taken these fights before. You and I have fought these multiple times in our other matches. We know what we can do. And that brings about this consistent battling. I mean, the fact that Grim didn't want to fight until the very end, they knew there was going to be a shove, and that's kind of the heads up play. That's how long it takes. Neither one deciding to step up and around. That can only be hours of just playing together, understanding that we have to be on the same page if we want the win at the end.
Yeah, those top 3 teams also going to get that priority action toward that grand finale later in December as well, which is worth $10,000. So, you know, we do remind everybody to make sure to follow the socials. Of course, we'd love to see you over there at discord.gg/SharePlay. And of course, if you haven't yet, guys, make sure you drop your play tags in the Beta Set Go channel. That way you can get involved in the action as well. And like we said, stay up to date with the upcoming events.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. I mean, it's so sad that only one team is going to make it here into the December tournament as well. That makes me so sad. I want to see Blast. I want to see Grim. I want to see Cypher even make their way in. But I think there are possibilities because we took the tournament champions. They get high priority. So please, as Hot Sauce said, keep eyes on all the socials. You never know when you're going to have an opportunity to play for that money as well.
Yeah, and you might get what you want, Orbital, because I believe now it's the top 3 that get priority. So all 3 of those teams.
Hey, let's go.
Yes, all 3 of those teams will get priority toward that grand finale. But as you know, again, we thank everybody for hanging out today with the PlayBowl 2024 tournament series, of course, brought to you by the SharePlay League in collaboration with HLX. But guys, we are just getting heated up. As we mentioned, there's plenty more in the future. That grand finale coming up in December. So, whether you're playing or watching, you're definitely part of something special to remember. Again, we always thank Orbital, the booth next to me. Always a great time with Orbital. Of course, everybody behind the scenes who often doesn't get enough credit, from King Plays to Range as well, helping run the production so smoothly. We appreciate each and every one of you. Of course, you hanging out in chat, whether you were participating in the tournament series today or just bringing some of the hype, having fun with us in chat. We appreciate each and every one of you. We hope everybody has a phenomenal rest of the week, and we hope to see you back here in December. Take care and have a wonderful night, everyone.